Okay. Think I got everything going. You got in here so fast today, I wasn't prepped yet.
Yeah, still need to go grab my coffee, actually.
Oh boy, you're slacking, Par. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I literally just woke up.
Oh, 10-4. That's fair. Good for you. Nice,
Yeah,
long night of sleep, I hope.
it's because I was up so late doing the space. We had
Oh, okay.
2,200 people.
That's right. I forgot last night was your space.
Right.
What time do you fire that up again?
10 or 11 usually.
Oh, okay.
Usually
Eastern.
1,100 hours.
Okay, 10-4. Yeah.
Sunday. Sometimes also Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
We may have one on Wednesday as well
10-4?
this week.
Uh-huh. Yeah, usually I'm pretty much into winding down mode at that point. I'm up pretty early, so early to bed, early to rise. Makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Yeah,
I don't got the
same.
wealthy
Just,
part dialed
I
in yet.
suffer. Right, I suffer, but I put my time in.
Yeah, it's a good cause. Keep people educated. Find out what the heck's going on in the world. Oop, did I do that correctly? Looks like it. Okay. Yeah, it definitely throws me for a loop when people jump in so fast. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't hit all the buttons yet. Not everything's in the right spot.
Right, you get blindsided, but everybody's jumping you.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Let's see here. Let me make sure that let's see, reset that. Okay, that's working. Okay, yeah, I think everything is hunky dorky. Yeah, didn't even have time to do intro music to have to wait for anybody. It's a beautiful thing. It seems to have finally stopped snowing here. I got some more work accomplished on the luge yesterday. It's coming out great. Started stacking snow on the top end for the launch zone.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll have to see if I can strap a GoPro to my head and fly down that thing. Oh, what the hell is today? Monday? Yeah. It's hard to tell what day it is when you're unemployed for a year. I think what? Yesterday was my 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, I lose track of the days anyway.
Uh huh.
I never know what day it is,
Uh huh. Oh,
unless it's Strader's here.
yep. I just saw his request. I'm pulling him up to the stage. Good morning, Mr. Strader. I hope you have some coffee in hand.
Good morning, Hecka. Yes, I have my coffee next to me, and I heard you say you were getting your little luge track thing set up, which is so exciting. And do you have a grain scoop snow shovel?
You know something? The weirdest thing is one showed up to the house yesterday. What are the odds of that?
Whoa.
That's funny.
What do you mean just showed up?
I
Like just appeared out of nowhere?
I walked out my front door. It was on the front stoop. I'll have to check with my roommate as to how it showed up here.
Wow.
I'm sure she knows, but I don't.
Nice. Well, you can use that. It'll
I
work just fine.
I was thinking of a snow tube technically, but I'm open to all possibilities. Yeah, I started working on
I just got an Amber Alert on my phone. Fucked me up. I think.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, so I had gotten the bottom side of the
I didn't
track
hear you.
pretty dialed in, and yesterday I started
Yeah.
stacking snow on the top end, so it's going to be like a big drop on the front end to get that momentum
Nice.
going to shoot you down the rest of it.
Nice.
Yeah, should be fun.
Did you have
I just saw your video of your crash the other day for the first time ever.
pretty rough, right?
Yeah, dude, that was pretty wild. And also, I had no idea the vehicle that you were in. Like, I just pictured you just straight up on a shovel. So,
Well, we do that. I mean, there's multiple types, but X Games,
mhm,
they thought the regular shovel would be too wimpy,
mhm,
so they just wanted the big modified sleds.
mhm.
But we actually got to ride, me, my brother, and my good friend Gail. We got to ride down in front of the big crowds on our regular shovel,
Uh-huh.
and people just went fucking crazy. They were like, they couldn't believe what they just saw,
Yeah.
because the regular shovel is super fun. I mean, that's
Uh-huh.
that's the legit.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
sleds were a whole nother thing. They actually stopped doing those in 2005
Uh-huh.
just because they're too dangerous. So they don't exist anymore.
Mhm.
That part of the sport is dead, but we still ride the regular shovels, which is really all you need.
Yeah, I feel like the
But-
regular shovel's way cooler.
Oh, it's so cool.
Uh-huh.
It is the most fun thing ever. I
Uh-huh.
mean, I was bummed that X Games wasn't interested in that, because and that's why, I don't know if you saw the other video you should check out when you're making your luge track, because we went to the Olympics in 2002 trying to promote that shovel racing would be, perfect for the Olympics, because they don't have to do anything except give us a time slot on the luge track.
Mhm.
And we, people ride shovels down luge tracks all over the world. And so we had a big race on the luge track, and I put that up there. It's on my page.
Nice.
And it shows us riding the shovels down the Olympic bobsled luge track, which is so fun. But we always called it the poor man's luge,
Hell yeah.
because all you need is a shovel,
Uh-huh.
$30 fucking, true hardware like shovel, and you're ready to go.
Mhm.
You're in the sport.
Mhm.
Unlike any other winter sport, which costs hundreds and hundreds of dollars of gear. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
totally.
Shovel racing, just need a shovel and a hill.
Yeah, like I remember when I was a kid, like I thought people that could ski like were rich. Like, how do you afford all that stuff? And like, yeah, skiing to me was an expensive sport.
Yeah, it is. It's way worse now. I mean, it's so horrible now.
Mhm.
I mean, it has really priced most people out. But like where we lived, if you lived there and you were part of the kind of the country club group, you got a free ski pass. So we just grew up. I mean, I skied all my teens, basically for free.
Mhm.
And yes, you'd have to get some new ski shit, but I was always working, so
Mhm.
I always just bought my own stuff. But yeah, now it's so crazy. I mean, like if you go up to Angel Fire or Taos, it's almost $200 just for a ticket.
Mhm.
Just for a ticket, and then all the gear is so ridiculous expensive and stuff. So yes, it is definitely priced the common man out. But the shovel, the price of the shovel has not gone up that much. So I
That's a
will
really
spread
good
the
point.
word. I'll spread the word far and wide. But
Nice.
but yeah, so I think it's cool that you're making a little fun little sled luge track there. I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
really
probably do
stoked.
something similar. How long is that?
Oh, geez, from developed length, I would say it's probably maybe 150 feet with some curves in it.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's not
Nice.
super long. It's going to be a quick run. Potentially, it might loop around, actually, so it might be closer to like maybe 180 feet, because basically it goes from the end of the driveway, it goes down the side yard. So on the top end, I'm gonna build the drop in launch. It goes down the side of the house, through the side gate, along the deck, and then it cuts across the back of the yard. All of this is obviously going downhill, so then it swings across the backyard, and then does like a 360 loop, so that the end of the track kind of meets. It's almost like a giant question mark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Uh-huh.
I love that.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah. And
yeah, it's fun.
and I
Sledding, tobogganing, any of that stuff.
oh hell yeah! I'm just kicking myself because I saw a really nice snow tube at Costco the other day, but it was when we still had almost no snow, And
Oh,
being a broke ass unemployed whistleblower, I was like, I'm not gonna buy that snow tube because that's gonna jinx me right now. It's gonna be a waste of money and it's never gonna snow again. Like. But
yeah,
now
I
that
mean,
it,
a snow tube would probably work really good in there. The only problem with a shovel on a curved course like that, because you probably, unlike a luge, you don't have the banked corners and stuff, so it keeps you kind of in the middle, is that you'll just be kind of banging into the sides because the shovel doesn't turn. You know what I mean?
right.
It's a fall line kind of sport, and that was the thing. Like, people would tell me, yeah, I tried it at, in a hill by my house, but I just went straight off into the trees or this or that. I'm like, well, because you have to have a really nice groomed kind of smooth surface. You can't just kind of do it anywhere, and certainly not in like a lot of powder. It's got to be pretty packed.
Yep. I have some pretty high walls on it that are pretty densely packed at this point, so I should be able to work some nice curves into the turns. So I do think a tube will be really fun because I think you'll swing high bank in the turns and stuff like that, whipping around.
For sure, man. Oh, well, I hope you have like a little video when you get it done so we can see it. Or like
totally have to video it. Yeah,
That would be
absolutely.
cool.
I imagine I should be able to GoPro a thing on my head or something at the very least, and then also have my roommate take a video as well.
Nice.
Yeah, totally.
That's
I already
cool.
did. I did put a clip up of it in its formation state, but it's actually
Yeah, I saw
snowed a
that.
lot since then.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I saw that. I was like excited about it. Got me all jazzed up for winter. I mean, even though we're barely having a winter here in New Mexico, but we did get one little storm, and it was beautiful the other morning. But it looks like everything's melted off now. That's the thing about here, man. It'll storm. People like when I posted the pictures the other day of the mountain covered in snow, like people assume like New Mexico is like Arizona, or like that because Arizona has a very hot, low desert. It's not that high off of sea level, but New Mexico is high desert. Like Albuquerque's a mile high. I mean, we're at the same height as Denver. We're just lower in the latitudes. But we get real winter. I mean, we really do. But the sun here just burns. So it's like once it snows, we'll get a lot of snow. But then that sun will come out, perfect bluebird sky, and then it'll just start melting so fast. So it's like you got to use it while you can because it's always limited time till it melts away.
Have you ever been up to Alaska before, Strader?
No, I've always wanted to go. I would love to go.
See, that's one of the things I feel like this state, like, they always advertise that, like, summer season is tourist season, but I feel like they're totally missing the boat on selling this place for the winter wonderland that it is. So, like, the big ski resort here called Alyeska, and this is, I think, a huge situation that they aren't marketing correctly. So my understanding is when like most people go skiing, right? Like you're at high altitude, a lot of people come from the coast and then they go up to elevation to ski. So the elevation in the environment is very taxing on people. Well,
exactly.
The Alyeska ski resort
goes right to the fucking ocean, doesn't it?
It's base like, camp's really at sea level.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, dude.
So
you're right.
It would be way less taxing.
But is it dark as shit? Do they have lights?
It's lit. It's lit.
Oh, it's lit. Okay.
Yeah, it's
that's
lit.
The first thing I think people think is, well, I don't want to ski in the dark,
It's totally lit. Like, don't get me wrong. Like midday, you'll get some sun, but like in a way, because it's lit, because it's dark, I think that's also marketable. Like they should just sell it on everything that's different from everywhere else.
Well, if they looked at what like Norway does, so they got like ice hotels, and they really market to the parka crowd. Get your parka, come warm up by the fire, have some hot toddies and some hot chocolate. Look at the northern lights, do some night skiing. I mean, you're right.
They have a tram that brings everybody up to the top of the mountain, and there's a fucking bar and a restaurant at the top of the mountain too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, you can stay warm and get liquored up on both ends of the course.
But you're right. Like Taos Ski Valley, where, I really learned to ski hard, which is it's one of the best ski areas in the country, but it's here in Taos, New Mexico. But, you start at the base, pretty high, like 8,000, 9,000 feet, and then you're going up to like 11,000 feet at the top,
Yeah.
and people are like toast. I mean,
Yep.
the altitude sickness is a real thing.
Yep.
I mean, people come up there and they're just fucking headaches and feeling run down and
Yep.
trash because they'll come from sea level in a day and their body just does not have time to acclimate.
Yep.
And it is actually, you're right, very taxing on people.
Totally. And so marketable because, like, I'm not a skier, but I feel like every skier knows this.
We do.
Right? That altitude's
That's
an
true.
issue. And that, the value of sea level skiing, I think, is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely.
And you can dodge bear and moose.
I think that's part of it. People don't want to get stomped out by a
That
moose.
would be a good X Games, John, right? They have bear and moose on the course.
Moose dodging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect Mother Nature, so I ain't fucking with the animals. You know what I mean?
Hey, Eric, can you smoke up at the bar on top of the mountain?
In the outside area, not in the bar.
Yeah, the higher altitude you are, if you're smoking cigarettes, you're really gonna have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, everyone smokes weed on the chairlift. I mean, that's where all the smoking. Everybody would smoke. That was before edibles back in the day when I was there. Now everyone just loads up on edibles and they go for it. But in those days, it was like, as soon as you got on the chairlift, you'd like choose who you're riding up with, and you'd pull out your joint and freeze your fingers for a few minutes, and you'd all smoke like crazy, and then try to put it out before you get to the top, and then ski like crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I've skied my whole life, and I'm going up with some friends and family, a reunion in a couple weeks, so I'm dealing with that. That's gonna be fun. All the kids all ski, so But it is really expensive now. So it's like, once maybe twice a year we can afford to go, and and that's really it. We can't afford to buy them all their gear. Now you can rent pretty good gear just for the day, so you don't have to like put out all the money for boots, poles, skis, all that shit. As long as you got winter clothes, you can just rent your stuff for the weekend or for the day, and they've got really good stuff now. In the old days, the rentals were just shit, but now they actually do rent really good stuff. So you can get away with just renting stuff for the day and then ripping it up, and and then of course you got the snowboarders. So you got the whole skier snowboarder thing. Very different vibes.
One of my favorite stores up here, I think it's called the Hoarding Marmot. So it's a store where it's all used like camping and sporting goods equipment, like ski equipment, camping equipment, like everything under the sun. Because I mean, there's so many rich people that come up here for tourism and stuff, and then they buy all brand new awesome stuff just to use it up here, and then they basically like leave it. Like they're never coming back. Yeah, so like the store picks up all this like lightly used awesome gear and just resells it. So it's like, I mean, I'm a fan of not paying top dollar retail. It's like, all right, this rich guy didn't want it, I'll take it.
I can't imagine having that level of disposable income where you go for a weekend and you buy everything you need and then you just leave it. Like these people.
I understand, but John, these people exist.
I know. I just can't relate to them.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah.
That really sucks.
But
like,
you can relate to the used stuff being a good bargain.
Right. Exactly. I'll be like, yo, yeah, that's pretty cool.
I've gotten some really high-end headlamps in there, some nice extreme cold weather gear. Like you just go in there and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe someone dumped this.
Right. I love the name, Hoarding Marmot.
Yes, it is a good one. The Hoarding Marmot.
Yeah, every time I see anybody with a ferret, I use the line from oh shit, what's the movie with the dude? Oh shit, the Coen Brothers. Come on, Eric.
Oh, I can't think of it. I'm bad with names.
God, I'm just drawing a blank. But he's like in the bathtub, and the nihilists come in, and they've got the marmot. He goes, "Hey, nice marmot."
I don't think I've seen this one.
Oh no, you know it. It's a fucking classic. It's God damn it, what's that movie called? Oh my god, I feel like such an idiot.
Anyone?
You
Paul,
know,
come on.
I'm getting the brain farts, man. It's
It's all right.
Jeff Daniels plays the dude.
Oh, is this the
It's
Big Lebowski?
Lebowski.
Gotcha.
Fucking hell. Yes.
So funny
Yeah,
thing
when
is, I've never seen the whole movie.
What?
I've only
Oh
just
my
seen pieces.
So many classic scenes, but like one of the scenes I related to the most was when he's driving down the road with his joint and he gets down to the roach and he goes to flick it out the window, but the window's open, and then it like drops in his lap and starts burning his balls and he crashes the car. Like I have literally done that so many, not crashed the car, but like accidentally dropped it in my crotch and like you're like, oh shit, it's like on fire down there and you're like, fuck. And so that was like just one of those things that every stoner could relate to that scene. It was so funny. But I always remember that nice marmot. He's just hanging in the bathtub. And then remember it attacks him in the bath. It's like an attack ferret, which is even funnier.
It's a trained defense ferret. I think that's
Right.
one of the scenes I never saw.
Oh, it's so good, Eric. Oh my god. But you know, I had at a funeral once. We had a similar scenario to when they spread the ashes and they do it on the cliff where the wind's going the wrong way, and they all get ashed with their friend. And I was at a funeral where they did that spreading of the ashes, and a very similar thing happened, and they literally got the ash all over them, and I was like, oh, they got Lebowski'd. You know?
So I'm sitting
But,
here looking.
yeah.
I'm looking at the name of this space, and I almost feel like you're the perfect person to have jumped up. So
what is it?
the
Be
ti-
bold
be
of act.
bold
Oh
of-
wow, you're right.
right? Yeah, I mean, you're a person who's lived a life of being bold of action, and I imagine that you couldn't imagine having lived any differently.
No. Oh my God. No. I was an adrenaline junkie my whole life. I've told this story many times that like when I see those wingsuits, Eric, I was like, thank God they didn't have those when I was growing up, because I would have been like, holy fuck, I'm doing that, and then I would have ended up splatting into the side of a mountain or something.
Yeah.
Because you know, I mean, I tried and did everything, but you know, I was never the greatest. I was always the guy who was willing to do anything, was pretty good, but also always crashed and burned. So, you know, a lot of, like, most of my, like, epic stories are stories of pain and suffering. You know, they're not straighter wins as much as they are, like, losses, but they are still entertaining.
I think
So,
he
yeah,
might have
but
been similar to me. My father used to refer to me as a little kid as Eric, the habitual line stepper.
Yes. We both have that very much in common. We've talked about that. And, but yeah, I was like, if there was a tree, I was climbing it. If there was a cliff, I was jumping off it. If there was a river, I wanted to raft it. I mean, surfing, scuba diving, everything I could get my hands on, I was doing.
Did you ever happen to visit Action Park in New Jersey?
No, but I saw that documentary, and oh my God, it looked so wild. I would have fucking gotten jacked at that place.
Dude, it was so fucking awesome, Strader. It's, yeah.
Oh my God. You went there, Eric?
All
That
the
is
time.
crazy.
All the time. I just had a conversation the other day in one of the spaces with someone else that grew up in the area and went there regularly. And it was such a fun blast from the past. Like, that was one of the many great experiences because I went there a lot. That place was greater than
Did
Disneyland.
you watch that documentary? Did you watch that documentary about it?
No, but they keep telling me about it on HBO or something.
Oh my God! I don't know where it's out there, but it's out there. And oh my, if you grew up there, if you've been there, but you gotta watch this thing, dude.
10-4.
I watched it. I've seen it probably 3 times, and I just had FOMO so hard. I was like, oh shit! If I'd have known this place existed, holy shit, I'd have gone there in a heartbeat. Like, oh my God.
It was
We didn't
apeshit,
have
dude.
anything like that.
I've seen a couple of YouTube videos on it, but apparently that's not the documentary that people are telling me about.
No.
Like it was
The
called the
documentary
most
is great.
dangerous amusement park ever made.
Yes. Oh my God. And like, yeah, and everyone working there was all fucking high and fucking each other, and it was just like insane.
It was obvious
And I
too.
was
Like even being there as a kid, like I knew like, holy shit, like this other kid's in charge and he's high as fuck right now. Like,
Right. Yeah, the documentary really highlights all that. Oh my god, dude.
yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I know all about that place, but no, never got to go to anything like that. We just sort of created our own adventures. I mean,
Hmm.
growing up in the mountains, like one of the things, like now they have paintball, but when I was growing up, we didn't have paintball, so we would do the same thing. We would go out because all my friends were like the sons of Vietnam vets, right?
Yep.
So they all moved up there because they wanted to get away from the world. And so we had pellet guns,
Yep.
BB guns.
Yes.
They would make like tripwires that would shoot off M80s, like
Mhm.
that were like grenades, things like that. We would make rocket tube launchers and
Mhm.
use like Roman candles
Mhm.
and bottle rockets.
Yep.
And we would have full on like Vietnam Wars up in the mountains. I can't believe we didn't burn the mountain down.
We totally had BB gun fights. We had Roman candle
Oh my
wars.
God.
I was in a tree
Yeah.
one time. I thought I was super smart. Like, I'm going to be a sniper in the tree and I'm going to get these guys. And then they found out where I was and they started lighting up the tree with the Roman candles and setting it on fire while I'm in the tree. I'm like, this ain't
Yep.
good.
Yep. We used to do it in a swampy area where the beaver ponds were. That way it was a little bit wetter,
Mhm.
just in case. But, I mean, we would crawl in the mud. We would, sometimes we would decide we were going to go attack Taos, New Mexico. So we would, like, go over the pass. And then we would, park before we got to town. And we would get down in the river like it was, like, literally, like, in the bush in Vietnam. And we would play this thing where we would see how far can we, like, invade Taos, full camo, painted face, all that, before we would get spotted. You know what I mean? Because it was like the river went straight through town. And so we just did all kinds. You just had to make up your own adventure. There was nothing else to do. We couldn't just stare at our phone all day, veg out. You had to get out there and do shit.
Caused a little bit of
You know what I mean?
chaos in the neighborhood.
Oh my God. So yeah, it's gonna be fun this when I get my reunion, because all those friends and family that I'm meeting up there, we all basically met in the early '80s. We've been best friends ever since, and we have all those stories. So when we get together, it is just like, oh
It's
my
on
God.
my it's on my dreams bucket list, and I'll put it out there. Maybe we can all manifest this by thinking about it together. But I would love to host like some sort of a disclosure convention, whatever the fuck topic you want to call it, but at the Alyeska Resort in Alaska in the wintertime, because you can
That's
do
cool.
conventions there. And I think it'd be really cool if people are attending conventions by day, skiing at night, having fun. Like, it could be a lot of fun.
It sounds cool as shit, dude. I like I said, I've always wanted to go up there. I mean, that's part of why I was building the Commander, because I wanted to be able to go up to Alaska. I wanted to be able to park out. I wanted to be able to go places. I wanted to be able to really go and adventure. Get back to doing adventures. You know what I mean? I can't stand sitting around at home watching TV, being on your phone. Like I was an adventure guy, so I just want to get back to having some adventures. Like.
Yeah, the Commander would have been a lot better to sleep in than a tent for sure.
No way I'm sleeping in a tent in Alaska, dude. Oh my God, I saw that movie. I saw what happened to that bear guy. No.
I've done it in all kinds of weather here just to prove proficiency and make sure that systems work.
Yeah.
But it's not something I desire to do.
Right.
If I had to, I could. Like, I could make it. I could survive. But yeah, recreationally, I could find more fun things to do than it being minus 20 and you're in a tent and I do have a kick-ass fucking sleeping bag. I have the full-blown military cold weather kit. It's like a 3-piece setup.
Oh.
So
yeah.
it's technically good down to minus 50, but it really just means like you'll live down to minus 50s, not necessarily.
You'll survive the night, but you're not going to be happy.
Yeah, you'll make it.
All right. Well, wish me luck. I'm currently looking for a place to live. So today I'm driving from place to place, doing little tours, trying to find a place to live. So I'm pulling up to my first spot. So I'm gonna see if you're still. I'm sure you'll still be hosting. So I'll let you know.
I'll be going for a while. Yeah, fingers crossed. Let us know how it looks. Come back and give us the play-by-play.
All right. Thanks, man.
You got it, Strader. That is a man who has lived a life being bold of action and appreciated the benefits. It matters. We used to teach kids to be bold. I remember that. But it seems like we do the opposite now. Be timid, be tolerant, make sure you don't do anything that anyone will disagree with. Fit in. Who are we bringing in? Tracy. Come on in, Tracy. I just gave you the approval. I hope you have your coffee at the ready. Or tea, whatever you're into. A morning beverage. Well, I did approve you, but I'm not seeing you as a speaker. Maybe it's glitching. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, let's see if I can do that. We got Sarah. Sarah is approved. Maybe she'll have better luck.
Can you hear me?
I can. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How we doing, party people?
Oh, having a blast.
I dig it. I can dig it.
Mm-hmm.
I am loving the title.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. I think it is the year of the fire horse. So we are
Ooh.
here for the rough, hard ride, right?
Okay.
So to speak. I don't know.
I'm unfamiliar
But
with the
yeah.
year of the fire horse. Is that like the Chinese calendar or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, it
Cool.
is.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't. I was born in the year of the dragon in 1988,
Okay.
and last year was a snake year. So yeah, Hmm. Very interesting.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Fair enough, right? Yeah. Anyway, I used to grow up in a family where children were to be seen and not heard.
Same here.
And yeah, I really you know, I resonated so hard with that statement. Because we're taught, don't speak up, don't make waves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is like the exact opposite of how we should be. We should constantly be standing up for the little guy, the underdog, um, and it just kind of, I think, goes to show a little bit about how they can keep us, I guess, under this whatever spell, mockingbird media, whatever you want to,
Mm-hmm.
Call it. Um, yeah, it just keeps us like complacent, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to learn this after I had my daughter, after I became a parent myself, and I started to see how certain behaviors and patterns just, um, children they you can't tell them, oh, you know do as you're told, but not not what you see. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
can't tell them to do one thing and then your words and your actions not align,
Mm-hmm.
because they're watching your actions.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember as a kid I used to always just be like, okay, stuff doesn't seem right, and we would just never talk about stuff in my family. Things would always just get swept under the rug. And um, after having my child, I started to take some parenting classes, reading all the books, doing all the things. Um, because like I said, I started to see some behaviors that I was just like, what is going on here? And it absolutely, when a child is at their safest and their happiest, like, they are the loudest. They have full, you know, use of their voice, all range. Um, they're completely uninhibited.
Mm-hmm.
They're not worried about what they're going to say, and
They're
they're in
being
touch
themselves.
with. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Because, like, children, like, and that's the thing also too, is I always had to remember, your childhood wasn't beautiful because, you were a child. Like, it was just because you were present in the moment. Um, as we get older and older, we're taught and then we're not taught certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that so many of us get caught up in the mental. Our thoughts tend to race um, all the time. I know there's been a lot of concerns about people's mental health and stuff here lately. And I think it's really important to have these conversations because, you can get really easily triggered just in conversation, with people who are your friends. And you need to know how to, you know, um, walk yourself back from like, I'll be honest, I've struggled with depression and anxiety, PTSD. I'm neurodivergent as fuck. Um, my daughter, my nephews on the spectrum, my sister, probably like my entire fucking family talk about this a lot in my story about how we are highly sensitive people. I do I have I have facts to back it up that my family was targeted and tracked because of
Mm-hmm.
our, sensitivity to scalar, solar fields, all the things. Um, it's kind of like an astral tagging, or so to speak. It's really interesting how some of this stuff kind of works. But um, you know, anyway, yeah, I think it's great when you can see kids using their imagination, totally like just tapped into the moment. Um, and as much as I know a lot of us love our devices and we require them for our jobs here, what we're doing and all the things, but oh my gosh, take it outside with you. Go and sit underneath a tree, get in the sun, absorb some of that light. Um, Especially I know in the northern hemisphere here, it is wintertime. So God, it was only 22 this morning
I was
when I
thinking
woke up.
I was thinking that this morning when I was prepping to, make the space and come up with a title and just thinking of ideas and things to discuss. And of course, staring at my phone because I'm about to create the space. And I started thinking to myself, I'm like, people track how much time they spend on their phones now, which is crazy because obviously you're spending a lot of time if you have to track how much time am I spending on the phone. And then I thought to myself, like, do people track how much time they spend outside anymore? Do they compare the two? Do they realize that if I'm spending 10 times more time on my phone than I am in the woods, I'm ruining myself. Like, you know, people, I've said before, like they should, I don't know if you remember, like a few years back, they had the planking challenge, planking, like being in the push-up position almost. And it was, oh, I can plank for 30 seconds, then I can plank for a minute, and then 5 minutes, and then, 10 minutes, and it's, super challenging. And I thought to myself, like, people should have, like, I distance myself from my cell phone challenge. Just start doing things without your phone. Increase the time period that you're away from your phone. Leave your house without your phone. Go run errands for an hour. Increase the time. I left my house. My phone was at my house. I went and did errands for 4 hours without my phone. I think people should engage in stuff like that. Be more present in life instead of, being like Pavlov's dog that's trained every time you hear, an app chime that now you have to look at your phone. Oh my God, something so important is occurring in digital fake world that I have to ignore the reality around me, that I can't be immersed in the moment. And definitely we should be teaching kids, you know, to be more real. Like I was having a conversation with some folks the other day, and I was big into hot rodding when I was a kid, racing, street racing. All right, a lot of the shit that we did on the road was illegal. Okay, don't get me wrong, um, but fun, super fucking fun, super present, super in the moment, and I don't give a flying fuck what anybody says. There's not a video game in the world that is on par with actual racing. Like you can say that it seems real, looks real, blah, 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 blah. It's nothing like getting behind the wheel and going ballistic with a rear-wheel drive 8-cylinder manual transmission car. Like, there's, to me, few things more fun than going ape shit in a fucking hot rod. It's just nothing like it.
My mom and dad, they talk about their Buick Skylark all the time. And my dad's a Harley guy, so
Mhm.
he's got an ultra classic, and he enjoys driving it in the summer, spring, summer, fall.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely fun.
Oh, absolutely. And it's fun to work on cars and things like that. Make them better, improve them, you know. Get a job, buy some parts, improve the car, take care of your things, you know.
Yeah, definitely. That was something my my grandfather, he started a sports camp for youth. It was up in Hurley, Wisconsin,
Mm-hmm.
and they called it Camp Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, my father, he was one of four brothers, and they all built the cabins, the property, like the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, it definitely. I swear to God, my dad, he had two girls, but he wanted to have a boy. And I'm the baby. I'm the second. Yeah, I'm the second born, and yeah, they thought I was going to be a boy, so they were going to name me Nathan, but um, then they ended up getting me. But it worked out. It was really cool getting to follow my dad and his military career.
Mm-hmm.
Living in Guam was, I mean, like, even though I was young, I remember it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just, oh my God, living on base was cool.
That
We
had
were
to be
right there on a
fun, being by the
cliff.
beach.
Yeah. Yeah. We lived right on a cliff. So we would watch the sunset every night and
Mm-hmm.
like look for the green flash when
Yep.
it hits the water.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I saw the green flash at South Pole when the sun set for the one time a year that it does.
Yeah.
It was pretty
Dude,
cool.
that'd be so cool.
Yeah, it's slightly extended there too because it's such a delayed, like, I don't know how to put it, but that last moment we had a sunset party, and one of the crew had set up a really nice telescope so that we could watch it happen.
That's pretty cool.
Hmm. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I see we got Miss Justice here,
There she is. Dun, 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 dun.
my favorite Yankee from just barely. Are you even over the Mason-Dixon line? I know we've
I
discussed
don't
this before, but I forget. Is North
I
Carolina
don't know if
south
she
of the
is.
Mason-Dixon line?
N- she's Harding, so yes. Okay, she must be. It's like right there.
Fair
Um,
enough.
I was always south of it. My family, we lived in like the United States Sports University that my grandfather ended up founding after Camp Olympia.
Hmm.
That's down in Daphne, Alabama. So definitely that's south of Mason-Dixon line.
Hmm. I'm trying to
It's down
think
there
of.
by Science Bob.
I'm trying to think of what the hell all that freaking Pedro signage was going down the I-95. What the hell is that fucking that tourist trap that's at the Mason-Dixon line? I can't think of it now. But there's all the signs. Pedro says. Damn, I can't think of
I
it.
I used to always love traveling down 65 coming through northern Alabama because you get to see the rocket ship and then you get to see the T-Rex. Um,
Oh, I was never over that way.
oh, really? See, I was born in Pensacola,
Hmm.
and my family still has some property down there, and uh, I've done that drive. I can't tell you how many times between Columbus and Pensacola.
I've been up
I
and
used
down
to.
the East Coast a fistful of times between New York and Florida. So I've hit all the states in between there a few times probably now. But yeah, it's I've never really been off the coast, west of the East Coast states. I don't think that I have. Been up to Connecticut, Been to Rhode Island. I don't think I've ever been to Vermont. Yeah, pretty much stayed on the East Coast and then bounced around some of the country, but never did that much driving off the East Coast. Now I'm just trying to figure out how to get free dinner at Justice's house. Dessert. Apparently she's a dessert pro. I was thinking yesterday's space, you should come up with something called like drama cake, and you could serve slices up to the drama queens in spaces.
Oh, she just made last week, I think it was, German chocolate cake.
Oh yeah, I heard that yesterday. Yep.
Yeah, I've been like dreaming of this German chocolate. Oh my God.
I don't even think I've heard of German chocolate cake, seen it before, but I don't think I've ever officially eaten it.
They're delicious.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
I got lucky. My roommate works at one of the big banquet facilities here in town. She's a banquet bartender, and oftentimes when she gets off shift, she brings home leftovers, which is great because I certainly love free food. And last night there was a whole bunch of fancy little desserts that she had in the fridge. So grabbed myself a big old glass of milk and started crushing some yummy dessert.
Me and my daughter, we love to just put like 2 to 3 Oreos in a glass of milk at a time and eat that stuff with a spoon.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. It's
Have you
dessert, man.
Have you ever had fried Oreos?
I've seen them. Yes. Okay. The fairs around here, we have fried everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's the weird thing is, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's like the sushi places or the Japanese food places up here that offer it as dessert, fried Oreo, and damn, it's fucking good.
Yeah, I bet. I've seen a deep fried Snickers. I've
Ooh,
seen
that I have not seen.
Yeah. Um, yeah, they do all kinds of fun stuff. Deep fried Twinkies.
Oh yeah, because that's what a Twinkie needs.
I know.
We got a couple more folks that just came up. Hey, good morning, Lana. Happy coffee talk to you.
Good morning. Happy coffee talk to you. I heard deep fried Oreos and my soul was reincarnated back into the spaces.
Have you ever had a deep fried Oreo?
That is my favorite fair food.
Oh,
that
okay.
And probably like what are they called? It's kind of like a sopapilla, but it's got fry bread and then beans and chili and any kinds of toppings on it.
That sounds good.
I know it is a fry bread. It's just so good. That or like a Frito pie. Fuck.
Oh, that's so funny. A buddy of mine at the South Pole had a special meal made for him, and it was like a Frito based like chili cheese fries thing.
I love me anything if it's got chili flavoring or if it is chili. That's my shit.
All right. So I guess you're a big fan of the chili cheese dog.
Chili cheese dog.
Yes.
Chili cheese fries. Chili. Any type of chili. Preferably ones that have beans in them. Crazy motherfuckers.
I could try. You know what I think would be good? Chili cheese fries, but with like seasoned waffle fries.
You better shut the fuck up.
Doesn't that sound good?
R.I.P. to the old Chick-fil-A fries.
Oh, I don't think you're saying old Chick-fil-A fries?
They changed the Chick-fil-A fries. They're not the same.
Okay. I had Chick-fil-A, I think, for the first time this past summer. Yeah, that's where it was, when I was driving, when I did the speaking event in Colorado. When I was driving back to the airport after the event, I saw a Chick-fil-A and I never had it before, but I always joke around because I hear everybody argue. I call it God's Chicken because apparently they're like a very religious organization.
Chicken.
So
They
I
are
was like,
closed on Sundays. Yes, yes.
yeah. So I was like, oh my God, this is Chick-fil-A. I have to go try God's Chicken. It was pretty good.
Me
It
and my
is
mom
really
call it
good.
Jesus chicken.
My daughter does love it. It is a special occasion when we can go and get some Chick-fil-A, some chic Chick-fil-A. No, just kidding. They're actually putting one very close to my house. I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
I would like a Chick-fil-A up here. I think it would do well, but my understanding is the Chick-fil-A Corporation says that they can't do one here in Alaska because they can't get enough of the right type of fresh chicken here. So it would degrade their business model to not provide such perfect God's chicken.
Hey, you know what? Kudos on them for being honest
Fair enough.
and
Yep.
not wanting to compromise.
I
You
got
feel
it.
me?
But now on the other end of the spectrum, what I would really like to see up here, because I just know it would crush it, we need a White Castle up here. Because they could definitely do that.
White Castle's the best when you're drunk
Oh
and you're
my
lost
God.
and
That's
you're
like,
on Fremont and you're like, where the fuck is the golden nugget? And then you see the White Castle and you're like, oh,
yes.
maybe I can refuel. And then after you get like 3 burgers down, you're just like, okay, I need a drink or something.
Yeah, but 3 is just a start there. Like the first 3, like that's like you almost inhale the first 3.
For real, because they're not that big.
No,
You
a
know?
couple. They're 2 bites. That's it. They're 2 bites.
We need to take a UFO Twitter sabbatical to Vegas.
Hell yeah, Lana. I'll meet you at the White Castle on Fremont.
Oh my God.
Would that be amazing?
Let's fucking go.
It makes me think of like a meme.
Afterwards.
What would you do if we kissed at the White Castle in Fremont? With White Castle onion breath.
What would you do? I'm typing the shit out right now.
There you go. Make with the UFOs and aliens in the background.
We kissed at the White Castle.
Can you make it look like us in the meme? Is that possible?
Yes, but she probably would need like an image of both y'all's faces at least.
There you go.
But
This is
it
funny.
can be done. There can be so
I've been
much
there.
done with AI.
I remember when that one got put into Fremont. I was very psyched. Oh, we got Charlie here with his hand up. Come on in, Charlie.
If you get that German chocolate cake while it's just fresh baked and put a big scoop of homemade vanilla ice cream on it, it is most delicious.
Oh, that does not sound terrible at all, sir.
Yeah, the
Oh,
other thing
you
is,
know it. There will most definitely be a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top.
yep, the other thing is when Orange Julius was still alive before 7-Eleven took them over, that chili cheese dog, I lived on those things.
We used to have an Orange Julius in the shopping mall when I was a kid on Long Island, and I definitely loved the hot dogs from Orange Julius. That was good stuff.
Yeah, that chili cheese dog with onions on it, foot long, man, that was
Oh, yeah.
good.
Good stuff. Ooh, my taste buds are fired up now. This always happens in my spaces. Justice shows up, Lana shows up, and next thing you know, we're all just tearing through menus and
We're a bunch of foodies.
Hell
oh
yeah.
man.
I could definitely go for learning how to make my own slide. I mean, it can't be that hard. I've never done it, but it would be nice to just try to. I guess it's more of the process of figuring out like how to make like 50 sliders in the oven at once. A lot of cooking's just the mechanics. That's the part that it's more challenging for me. Like, I can make a good tasting food, but to me, the challenge for making a meal is just timing everything. Like, I have to put this in when and that in when. Like, I can make a dish, but when it comes to like prepping a whole meal, it's like I don't necessarily know all the right timing of stuff. It's a skill set. I know Justice was like planning for like, I don't know, what was it, like fucking weeks before the holiday? You're like, I got to start this on this day and this on that day. And in my brain, I'm like, whoa, how the fuck do you know that?
I ate at Longhorn Steakhouse for my 56th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know how they get that meat so tender. Little 6-ounce fillet, it sure was good.
I think we have one of those up here in Alaska. Can't remember. It's some sort of Texas steakhousey thing on the other side of town. But now I'm jonesing for some damn White Castle, Lana.
Really? For breakfast?
I could crush some White Castles right now for sure.
Oh, absolutely for breakfast. See, Americans got it twisted. They think that breakfast is all about sugary shit.
No. I
They
grew
ain't
up
like that.
bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll from a New York deli. Yeah, I don't want sweet. And I throw hot sauce on there too.
Dude, I have eggs every morning for breakfast.
Mhm.
Like some type, yeah. Like, and if it can be on a sandwich and then like I'm on the go, I absolutely like bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese.
Hell
I'll do
yeah.
the shit out of both of those. Yeah, those are both solid. I like them on croissants too. If we could do that, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah. And you got to have a little hot sauce with your eggs.
I like putting jelly on my like sausage, egg, and cheese sandwiches.
Whoa.
Is that weird? Like either grape or strawberry. Both are banging.
You know
I can do
something?
it.
In my brain, I was thinking the hot sauce and the jelly.
Whoa.
That's what I'm thinking. Is yeah. Now I'm thinking like ham, bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll with hot sauce, and I'm just gonna go with. I'm gonna push it to orange marmalade on there, like a smear of orange marmalade on the bread, and then the hot sauce on the ham, bacon, cheese part. Oh, I could do that. We're coming up with stuff here. Be bold of action and be bold of flavor. I just realized I didn't even scroll down for a while. The room's filling up a little bit there. Good morning, Mr. Rance. Good morning, Gene. Good morning, Tom. Oh, now I feel like a romper room. I got I see Gene and I see Tracy. Does that age me now? Does anybody even remember romper room? Gene's got some gray hair. Yeah, there's a heart from Gene. He's like, yeah, they never called Gene. I would just cry in my Boston pillow. It's all right. They never called Eric either. Charlie, he sounds like he's old enough to remember romper room. Probably watched some Captain Kangaroo too. If you've been married 55 years, you've probably seen Captain Kangaroo and Romper Room.
And Mr. Green Jeans.
There you go.
They never called Gene.
I knew it.
Gene found a license plate or a keychain at any of the places they took us on school trips.
Oh, yeah, right? Yeah.
I was the one oddball. They never had my name.
Yeah, you were that poor kid. Did you even meet a Eugene in school besides you?
No, I was the only one. And then I had to live with the stereotype of Eugene from Greece.
Oh, okay.
Right? You know, it was a Eugene Melvin or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I used to get picked on for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's what made me such a horrible adult.
It's that thick skin that you carry so well now, Gene. Yeah, I remember feeling bad for the kids at the class trips that couldn't get their name keychain. At least there was an Eric for the keychain.
There was always a Sarah.
Oh, hell yeah. Was there... Lana, did you have an issue with keychains on class trips?
Did I have an issue with keychains on class trips? Is
Correct.
that what you asked?
Yes, ma'am.
What the fuck is a class trip?
You never took a class trip in school?
Oh, like a class trip.
Yes. So then you go to like the gift shop afterwards, and they got all the keychains with the names on it.
Yeah. Could never find them ever.
Okay, there's no
because
luck.
the way that, well, it's not. I looked for Lana. I looked for Lana. I looked for Elena, which I later found when I was in college. But the only ones that I could find was Al. I ain't no Al.
You just add the ANA afterwards
I never got them.
with a Sharpie.
So, Instead, what I would do is I would get a keychain that would kind of look like a Christmas ornament. So that way I have Christmas ornaments and I don't spend the money for Christmas ornaments, because that's a fucking scam, y'all. And then I just take the keychain and I take it off the jump hook and then I repurpose it and I turn it into a beautiful Christmas tree ornament.
Did you just call it a jump hook?
A jump hook. That's what you put keychains on. It's like your little loop. And you put that shit on other shit.
I never heard that term before. Jump hook.
Yeah.
Okay.
I spent all day yesterday making jewelry with my mom and my sister, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Jump hoop, jump ring, one or the other.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a D-clip. It's not like climbing mountains.
Yeah, although I do love me some carabiners. Those are nice.
Oh, yeah. I have a
I have an
fondness for cool
obsession.
carabiners.
I do too. I have an obsession with carabiners. I will collect them.
That's funny. Especially big ones. The big ones are rare. If I'm on the job site and there's like a big old honking carabiner around, I'm like, that's going in my tool bag. Ground score.
That's so funny. That was actually one of the things that we did as the collaborative, coherence, co-creative, whatever Mellows thing he does. But that was one of them. Was we were all trying to manifest a ground score. He popped into a space last night. It was so good to see him. I felt good. It was good. It was good to see everybody. I was like, oh my god! I had seen people to get together in a space I hadn't seen in like forever.
Uh-huh.
was
If it's the
awesome.
mellow I'm thinking of, I think I met him at one of the Contact in the Desert events.
You probably did.
Uh-huh.
DIY disclosure.
I think that's the same guy. I'm bad with names.
Yeah, he's still around. But yeah, he popped in last night. Say hi to everybody.
I mean, Justice is always up there changing her name, changing her picture, and I never know who it is until she starts talking, and then I'm like, oh boy, it's this maniac.
Here comes trouble.
Right? With a capital T.
I'm an angel. Ask Sarah Beth.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I will say. Yeah, that's correct.
I don't know. I feel like we could have a lot of fun hanging out, but that like Justice is one of those people that you have to be careful to like not turn your back on. Like you just I don't know. You just never know. She seems like she's thinking too much. That would be the way I put it nicely. Like you just have to watch out. Like you have those friends sometimes that like they're setting you up for failure, and everyone will probably get a good laugh, but it'll be some shenanigans that Justice pulls because you turned your back, and you never know.
I
Yeah,
am
I'm sure it'll
definitely one of those.
be based on, what's the best interest in mind.
See how I can get this read off of you just digitally, let alone in reality? Like troublemaking line stepper.
Dude, I'm telling you, if you have somebody's picture and you look at somebody's picture, you can become quantumly entangled with that person. Like it does happen.
Oh yeah, she's all over me now. I'm all quantum entangled up in her webs and shit like that.
You're quantumly entangled in my food.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I ain't gonna
We
deny that.
do. We need the German chocolate cake. Like
I've heard
let
people
the
say
people
that
have their cake.
when it comes
Best
to
I
this,
can do is a Starbucks brownie right now.
there you go. We've all heard the
Yes.
saying that the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and I would just go so far as to say that if you really look at it, it really means through the taste buds. Like that's what it's about. It's about the taste. And Justice's food looks fucking good.
Look, next UFO Magic the Gathering, I will cook something.
What the hell is UFO Magic the Gathering?
That was my joke. UFO Gathering.
Oh, okay. 10-4. So like a convention or something? Hell yeah. If we figure out the Alaska one, you coming up this way, Justice?
Yeah, but I don't even know if I have clothes enough for Alaska.
Something tells me your winter wardrobe is lacking.
It pretty much is. I mean, like, I have a couple coats and like some boots, but they're more like fashion level.
Hmm.
I don't think they're probably sturdy enough. Definitely not for like a South Pole or anything like that.
I remember when I got the job to go to South Pole, it was the summertime on Long Island, and I was trying to find cold weather gear for my excursion to Antarctica. I was like, this is challenging.
I mean, there's got to be fall weather gear somewhere, right?
I'll just say anyone who listened to Eric's Space yesterday, or if you missed it, be forewarned. He's got this whole line about hypothermia and how the best way to cure it is to get naked.
I was
I
trained.
remember.
I was trained, Gene. This was from the program surgeon. This is the absolute best way to save lives, Gene. And I'm
Medically authorized. I got
medically authorized, HR approved, albeit frowned upon. They cannot stop you from saving lives in the most appropriate way imaginable. I should have done more life-saving techniques on the clock just so that I could have said like I was getting paid to save lives. Come here, let me save your life.
I imagine you've saved plenty of lives that
Justice,
way.
you sound cold right now. Are you cold? You sound hypothermic.
Oh no, pump the brakes.
There you go. But Gene, I'm glad you learned something about that. So,
Well, it's funny. Back in my military days, we were at it's called JRTC, the Joint Readiness Training Center
mhm,
in Fort Polk, Louisiana,
mhm.
and overnight we had a massive rainstorm, which flooded the foxhole I was in, and then
That sucks.
by the morning a cold front had come through,
Mm-hmm.
and it got to the point that they were like, all right, yeah, everybody needs to go inside. And so I was cold and wet and tired, and hypothermia started settling in. And my foxhole mate and I stripped down to our skivvies, kind of sat facing each other, wrapped our legs around one another, and then wrapped a blanket over us, and everybody was making fun of us. But within a couple of hours, we were like back in full form again.
Mm-hmm.
So I can attest to the validity of that technique.
It technically works. I'm glad you confirmed it, Gene. You hear that, Justice? But Gene, make sure that you tell Nat this story. Like, let her know about the proper training and the proper techniques, because that way, if she's ever showing signs of hypothermia, which is usually, angry wife syndrome, you just remind her that she sounds hypothermic, and you know the cure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then the other thing too is if your bride's getting frustrated, what I've learned is sometimes they're out of things to do. So if you just start to like snap your fingers and give them direction for a task, that it just straightens them right out, Gene. They just need focus.
Yeah, no, I tell them. I said between there's a lot of things that I've brought to all three of my marriages, and obviously they're successful, or nobody would want to keep marrying me.
Exactly. You're practice at this now. You are the seasoned professional.
With you guys talking, I'm sure that you can steer a lot of relationships in the right direction.
Absolutely. I had an instructor when I was going to night school for plumbing. This guy had been divorced like 8 times. And he would travel the country as a representative for different manufacturers in the plumbing industry. So he was, like constantly traveling, constantly in different diners. And he said that, he'd be like eyeballing a waitress or something like that. And in his head, he would think to himself, man, she looks like she'd make a great ex-wife.
Yeah, same.
I've heard that. a few times before. You look like my future ex-wife.
There you go. Let's just cut right through the chase. can wrap it all up in one evening. Love you. I hate you. Gotta go.
That's Nat and I's song, I guess, if we have one.
Oh boy.
It's a little known piece with Celine Dion and Luciano Pavarotti called "I Love You, Then I Hate You."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's quite a beautiful song in reality. But
I can see you guys dancing and singing in the kitchen, prepping a meal now.
yeah, absolutely. That comes on in the car. It's duet time.
There you go. Oh man, that's challenging though. When she can, I'm presuming, completely outsing you.
Well, my secret, my hidden shame is I am quite the singer myself.
Okay.
Broadway crooning.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I used to do community Broadway stuff. I was Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh boy. I don't know if you want to admit to that.
Yeah, and then I've done some concert stuff, Les Mis, and then even during some of the opera recitals we'd do, I would usually close it out. There's a Bobby Darin song called "The Curtain Falls."
Okay.
And I would, close it out with that because people would, oh, do you sing? Do you sing? I'm like, well, you'll see, you'll see. And then we actually around Christmas time, I posted it. It's down there on my feed. We recorded "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas," so we do Christmas duets and shit like that.
Oh,
so that's
very cool.
My secret shame.
Nice. That's awesome.
I'll see if I can post it in the Purple Bill.
I love singing, but people only request one song from me every time I start singing. They ask if I know how to sing "Far, Far Away."
That's not true. Now, people request you to do your silly for chilies.
Oh, I forgot about that. Gene, did you know I used to be in a band?
No, do tell.
Yeah, when I was an apprentice plumber, I was in an all apprentice plumber cover band, and we were called Silly for Chilies, and we just covered the Milli Vanilli songs. So we would...
Have you heard of the cover band Red Hot Chili Pipers?
No.
And they do Red Hot Chili Peppers, but it's just bagpipes.
Oh, that's
and
fucking great.
The number of people who thought they bought Chili Pepper tickets for like $25 at some small venue, and then they show up and it's bagpipers in kilts doing the thing. It's hilarious.
I feel like I would have been happier.
But when I met Nat, so I had met her in her day job in IT, and I thought I was being slick, and there was a karaoke bar near the Airbnb I had in Riga, and I was like, oh yeah, I figured out she was single. I said, oh well, I'm staying here, and there's a karaoke bar nearby. You want to go do karaoke? I'm quite the singer, and I'm talking myself up. So we get there, and I did Black by Pearl Jam.
Okay.
And then she went in and got up and did Evanescence, and the place erupted. And I was like, oh, you can sing? And she's like, yeah, I just finished 7 years with the Latvian National Opera.
Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Gene.
Yeah. But she appreciated my, my style and technique, obviously.
Oh, hell yeah, obviously. She was smitten on day one. We know how this works, Gene. You got your stick that you walk around with to beat him off, right? Back up, I'm married. Go away.
That's what I think.
Yep. Sometimes I got to have one in each hand. Like going through the airport. Get away. I'm single now. Leave me alone. At least that's how it works in my head. In reality, I'm just old and I limp and I have like canes.
I'm sure that's what happens every time you go to the airport, huh?
Right? I see the way every lady's looking at me, Justice, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. They all have rings on their fingers, and like, I can't handle the ogling. Like that's why I stay up here in Alaska because it's less frequent. It's cold out, so there's not as many oglers around. It's so annoying.
It's not your fault that it's cold out.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, up here, the eyes. I have thoughts, not just, eye candy for the oglers. Gene understands. Gene's got that whole salt and pepper thing going on that the chicks dig. And he's good in small arms combat, which they kind of dig too. It's like, oh.
Hey, why doesn't the opposite thing work for men? Like, how come men don't say, "Ooh, she's got salt and pepper hair"?
I got no problem with that.
Yeah, no, sometimes you get it. Oh, yeah.
And chicks that are good at small arms combat, oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, she's got green hair.
Yeah, I don't like that whole green and blue and purple hair thing. I just think the chemicals seeped into their head and caused major damage. Just saying.
Oh, it's okay. I can work with that.
Mr. Daz is here. Dun, 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 dun. Brr, 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 brr. From across the ocean. From the grand state of the UK. Good morning, Daz. Good morning, Cowboy Daz. Sheriff Daz.
Hello, Dr. Hecker. Look, Lana's here. Hi, Jean, Sarah. What's his name? Para?
I just call him Par.
Par, okay.
Yeah, everyone calls me Par.
Par, and Injustice, Mav. Look, JP's there as well. Shepherd as well. I ain't seen Shepherd in a while. Hi, Carl. Everybody. How you doing today, Eric? Have you had your coffee?
Oh, I'm chugging it, Daz. I got awesome coffee, as usual. Ooh, yeah, I'm chugging it so well. It's almost gone. I got maybe just a few sips left.
What's the time there for you? Because you're an early bird, isn't it? So is it like 8 a.m. or something?
It is 8:17, sir. A.m.
Good to see everybody. I'm just chilling now. I've got a client in a bit, so I'm preparing in the background. But I'm here. I'll jump in when I can. All right.
You got it, Daz. Thanks for showing up. Please be bold of action today. That's the title of the space.
Why did you create that space title?
You mean like adding to Coffee Talk?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of to focus my brain, I guess, to maybe be, I guess, to have something to consider. I mean, I fire up these spaces. I'm trying to be better at things and.
Yeah, you should have a new thing every day. That's great for everyone.
Yeah, at least something. I mean, we don't necessarily have to stay on topic, but it's just a way for my mind to have something to default to. Just a conversational thing. Lessons learned. Like I like my spaces to be like a mental jam. That we're gaining ground in some capacity, somewhat educational. So I like the idea of just, having something. So I was thinking this morning, that we used to teach children to be bold, be bold of action. Stick up for yourself, stick up for others, do things, jump the bike off the ramp, be a kid, like live life. And I feel like we've deviated from that, unfortunately. Now we're like wrapping kids in bubble wrap basically before we send them out of the house, and don't do this and don't do that. And it's like, man, my parents damn near like threw me out of the house and locked the door until sunset. If you wanted to go into the house to go to the bathroom, like you had to knock on the door. My mom would unlock the door and be like, "What do you want?" Like, "I gotta go to the bathroom." All right, hurry up. And then get your ass back outside.
It's true though. I mean, they do kind of want everybody to be like this one size fits all type of personality. So with my personality, I'm under the category of the advocate, which around normal people in everyday situations is a bit annoying, I'm sure. But, that's who I am.
Hmm.
But growing up, my parents were like, why do you care so much,
Hmm. So now, when you were a kid, Justice, would you say that you spent most of the day outside?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Like, all the time.
Okay. Yeah, like to me, that was a standard. Like we weren't really allowed in the house as kids. I mean, unless it was like pouring rain out. Now, I'm curious. Now, Gene, did you grow up in the Boston area, say first grade to eighth grade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just outside of Boston, Somerville, Mass, Winter Hill, infamous for Whitey Bulger and the Winter Hill Gang.
Okay. And would you say that you were similar, that you were raised to be outside as a kid?
Yeah, so I was definitely a latchkey kid. I was the
Same here.
youngest.
Uh-huh.
So, I had my oldest sister is 8 years older, middle sister's 4 years older. So, my oldest sister was the de facto parent in charge, and she still complains about how she had to stay home while I was out so that if I came home because anything was wrong, somebody was there.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah, Whitey Bulger was an MK Ultra experiment. He got out of a lot of trouble because they would protect him since he was an experimentee.
Yeah, he was also ratting on the Italian mafia, which didn't hurt either.
Which was Charles Manson's situation too, thanks to Jolly West.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think a lot of these people that, like Timothy McVeigh and Ted Kaczynski, like a lot of these guys, weren't they all kind of MK Ultra?
Oh, probably. And then there's that chick that used to come in these spaces, Fonda D's. I mean, she totally got MK Ultra'd.
The kitten programming.
There you go.
Now, Eric, we used to have, so I went to a Catholic elementary school that was first through eighth grade, all in the same building.
Yep.
And during certain years and periods, we would have we'd have experimental toothpaste that would come in, and we'd all have to brush our teeth. And then when they would come in and do dental exams, and there was 3 or 4 things like that I remember, through elementary school at least, that it was like we were these test subjects for some kind of, commercial products. I think one of them turned out to be Aquafresh. But I was wondering if anyone else of Generation X might have participated in such experiments.
I would go so far as to say
that.
Absolutely, but for me, Gene, it was excessive because I've already gone public that I was part of the Stargate program and all that SRI shenanigans. So when you say that, I'm like, yeah, I do remember that also. Yeah, total shenanigans.
Oh,
I remember.
You have psychologists too come in and talk to each one of the kids.
Mm-hmm. Gene, could you imagine if your kid came home from school and was like, hey, Dad, they gave us experimental anything?
Well, yeah. I mean, I always wonder if it was did they send a letter home to the parents oh, we're going to be doing this program, and
of course not.
The school's getting paid I don't know how much to experiment on your children.
Yeah, we had these experimental crackers and cheese, anything. Just what are you talking about?
Yeah, I remember the toothpaste.
Right, or the pink pills.
The fluoride. They used to give us fluoride in school.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember for the Stargate stuff, there was when I say pink, it was pinkish. It was more white, but it was off-white to a pink hue. And then there was another one that was off-white to a green hue. And I remember them being very like a not. It was a very thick liquid that had like a pasty. I don't know. It left like a skin in your mouth. I don't know how to put it. Like it wasn't paste. I would say it was like Pepto-Bismol, but thicker, but similar. Like Pepto's got that viscosity to it, but Pepto's like super, super pink.
I think they called it the gifted talented program. They took every kid out of class in elementary school because same thing. I was like kindergarten, 8th grade, one school.
Mm-hmm.
Every kid in the class would be taken out to see if you were gifted or talented. I wonder if that was a government op.
Oh, it totally was a government op.
Yeah, I was in California.
Yeah, it was a savagely ridiculous program, of which I was part of.
What could go wrong? And look what happened. Oh my God!
What could go wrong with experimenting on kids without their parents knowing? I mean, how could that be detrimental?
I don't even think I ever told my parents any of that shit.
I didn't at the time I was a child. I've spoken to my dad about it since, in great detail. But yeah, he was not actually aware of what was going on when I was a kid. And he's, former Navy. So I'm sure Gene can understand that, my dad is currently pissed because it happened on his watch. He failed. So it's not a topic he enjoys engaging.
It was just a different time.
Totally. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in hindsight now, having the conversations, he's pissed because he feels like, the things that I say, he's like, oh, well, yeah, I do kind of recall this, and that bothers me, and yes, that was questionable, but again, I wasn't bitching at the time because that wasn't how we functioned, You didn't come home from Catholic school and complain about anything that happened to you in Catholic school because you would get your ass beat again. You never came home and was like, guess what happened in school today? The nun whooped my ass. You didn't say that.
It'd be like, what did you do? I'm going to have to fix you myself.
Yeah, without pause, without hesitation. These are just known functions of life. The most terrifying thing in the world would be sitting at the dinner table and the phone would ring and my dad would grab it and you would hear him go, well, good evening, Sister Eileen. And that's the principal. And you're like, whoa. And then me, my brother, my sister are all just fucking flipping out. Who is this phone call for?
14 schools in 12 states. Yeah, you get that chill down your spine oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. And then you see who his eyes go to. That's all. You're just watching the eyes as he's listening. And you're like, he's not looking at me. Hey-oh, I'm getting someone's dessert.
My dad went to, it was Christopher Columbus High School in Boston. So it would have been, 1950s. And his famous, and the brothers used to have the knots. Mm-hmm. In the rope around their Cossacks, and they'd give you a good swift, hit with them.
Yep.
And one of his buddies said one day to one of the brothers that hit him for something, he's like, you're lucky you're in that Cossack. That's the only thing that's keeping you from getting your ass kicked.
Oh boy!
And the brother looked at him. They went on with the day, and at the end of the day, there was the brother in a t-shirt and jeans at the bottom of the stairs. Mm-hmm. And beat this kid to a bloody pulp.
Uh-huh.
And then told the kid, now go home and tell your mother why you got this beating.
Oh, and damn.
My was and the kid never said a word to his mother because it would have been a lot worse that he mouthed off to the brother.
Oh, see, that would be a weird predicament for me because I would have expected that I would have had to have said something because I would have been concerned that there would have been a follow-up from the brother. Did he say to you what I told him to? That's a catch-22. That's a quagmire spot to be in.
Yeah, right.
You'll get a kick out of this one, Gene. So when I was in boot camp, I was mandatorily volunteered to be a divisional yeoman. So in boot camp, I didn't really run around with the company complement. I wound up working for the divisional staff and the division officer to maintain the barracks and the coordination of all the different companies operating inside the division. So, I had an armband, yeoman's armband, and we could walk around the facility, as our, divisional team going to chow halls and things like that. And, you're not supposed to be talking on the grinder when you're out and about, but, we would take liberties with our privileged position from, not being with the company. And one day, we had been in boot camp for a few weeks, so you get a level of, comfort. And we were walking down the main grinder, Great Lakes, Illinois, where all of the cars come in. And I totally didn't think of it, wasn't paying attention, but I'm just bullshitting, talking with my buddies and, coming back from the chow hall. All of a sudden, this car rolls up, puts the window down, and starts yelling at us, and informs me that he's the CDO of the base. And I need to get back to whoever is in charge of me that day. I forget what he called it, barracks lead, whatever it was. He goes, but I want you to go back and inform them that you just got caught jack jarring by the CDO of the base. And he said he was going to check to make sure that I told him. And I got back to the barracks, put my gear back into my yeoman's office, and it turned out it was Petty Officer Golay was the guy in charge that day, and he was the company commander for my sister company. And, the company commanders also already don't have an affinity for any recruit. They didn't like the divisional staff because we could avoid their punishment activities as long as we were working for the division officer at the time. So I was very good at avoiding that. So he already had a target for me. I get back to the barracks. Petty Officer Golay has his entire company at general quarters, and he's giving instruction. So I did as I was told. I went to Petty Officer Golay, and I informed him in front of everyone that I had just got caught jack jarring by the CDO of the base. And I mean, granted, I get that these guys put on a show, but when I say this guy put on, when I say he turned beet red and screwed himself into, he literally said that he was so mad at me that he doesn't even know what to do right now. But he was like, but, he goes, when you're sleeping, he goes, I'm going to come find you. And he was like, and I'm going to destroy, he goes, just remember, he goes, I'm not going to get you now, but I'm going to get you. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. But then the funny part, because as you know, the drill instructors, they do a great job at their job, but I was also aware, it's a show. That's their job to, make you be terrified of them. And technically, he never came at me. He never delivered on that. So I think he was just doing a good job putting a show on in front of, all of his recruits.
Yeah, but everyone had to see he was gonna.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He had to put on the show. But I do think that part of him thought that I was a funny dude and working hard on the divisional staff.
Yeah, and nobody slept well because if they all wanted to see what was going to happen to you.
Yeah. And the funny thing was I almost never got to sleep. So as a divisional yeoman, it makes me laugh when you watch the movies and everybody sees, reveille, all hands, uniform of the day is as follows, burr, 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 and everybody wakes up. My job was I had to be up at 2 a.m. to go to the base security office to get that speech that would be read. And then I would have to type it up appropriately to be read on air. And, and then when everybody else woke up at 4 a.m, I'd already been fucking busting ass for 2 hours. And then 10 o'clock, taps lights out for everyone else meant that they were going to bed. So typically they slept from 10 to 4. At 10 o'clock, taps lights out in a division. that's when pandemonium starts. That's when everything gets fucking crazy and people start doing what they're not supposed to be doing. And then medical issues occur, and the divisional yeoman is the first point of contact to now deal with anything going on from 10 o'clock through the night. So there was a lot of suicide attempts, a lot of fights, and I would have to be the first person to delegate resources to be like, do I have to wake up the officer of the day who now he's going to be pissed at me for, what are you waking me up for? Well, sir, this guy tried to kill this guy. This guy's half dead, and we need an ambulance. We need security, It was always, so I didn't get to bed until typically slightly after midnight. So I would sleep from like midnight till 2 in the morning. And I did that for weeks and weeks and weeks. I was exhausted. And then it got to the point where I had to sleep in my office because I had pissed off enough people that swore that they were going to give me a fucking pillow party in the middle of the night. I went back to the barracks one night. It was so funny because, normally, like, around midnight, it's 180 dudes snoring like crazy. Like, you walk in, and it's loud, right? And I remember one night, like, I walked into the barracks. I was a top rack. So I got up into my rack in full gear. It wasn't even worth getting undressed, like, for the amount of time that I could lay down. I would just literally walk into the barracks, lay down, and try to stay asleep. But I got into the barracks, and I was laying down, and, like, just as my eyes were, like, starting to fade out, it dawned on me that it was so fucking quiet in there. Nobody was snoring. You could hear a pin drop how quiet it was. And I jumped up out of bed. I was like, you motherfuckers, you can go fuck yourselves. And I stormed out of there because I'm like, every one of these motherfuckers is awake. They're waiting for me. So that's when I started sleeping in my office.
I'm glad you used the term pillow party because that's what we used. And then a few good men ruined it with, the code red. We ordered a code red. I'm like, oh, that's a pillow party.
Yeah, I totally called. I knew it. I'm like, oh, you bastards. Tonight's my night, huh? I got an office I can go to, though. Later. Yeah, it was always a lot of fun in the barracks, from taps, lights out to reveille.
Yeah, so my son does Civil Air Patrol. Which is the U.S. Air Force Auxiliary, and it's structured in the same way. And before he joined, I used to be on him about replacing the paper towels, all those little household things. And he always talked about being a pilot. And I'd say, so you want to get in that habit now because you don't want to be the guy that people think they have to come in and clean up after, or that you don't see things through. And
attention to detail, Gene.
Right. So the first time he went to encampment, which is a week-long basic training type thing with Civil Air Patrol that they have to do, and the older cadets are the drill instructors, and so it's basically the experience. When I picked him up from that, he's like, oh my God, my wingman. So his partner, the guy, they call them battle buddies in the Army and whatnot. He's like, my wingman, I kept having to do things over because he wasn't doing them right. And he wasn't. And I was like, so now you see what I'm talking about. I said, so, I just thought it was funny. At 12 years old, he finally, he got it. But it was really only through that experience of having to be punished because the person he's supposed to rely on didn't do the things that he was supposed to do.
Yep. We had in boot camp, it was funny. It was we had a guy in boot camp. We had one dude that looked exactly like Private Pyle from Full Metal Jacket, which was weird. It was so weird. He looked exactly like him. But we had another dude that didn't look like him, but like was as problematic. Like, couldn't get anything right and got us in trouble all the time. So it was yeah, it was weird. We called them the piles. We had our piles.
Yeah, I lucked out. We only had one kid who couldn't keep his head straight as he marched. It always was tilted to one side.
Weird.
And his last name was Bush, and he was from Arkansas. And I remember during mail call, so they pre-open your mail,
Yeah.
and it's a little thicker or there's photos because they want to make sure there's.
They got to check for contraband.
Yeah, and the drill instructor's going through his photos, and he starts showing them. He's like, "What's this? What's this?" And it's all these pictures of fields, and the kid's like, "That's my corn, wheat, and beans." The parent sent him pictures of his corn, wheat, and beans. And then as we'd be marching, they'd call and Kane, hut to head bush.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. We used to call them Ricky Recruit Sundays, where you had a couple hours to, just, write letters home and stuff on Sundays. And, as a Long Islander, 18 years old, when I got to boot camp, I would say I met some of the most redneck dudes I've ever met in my life. Just straight out of, I don't know where they brought these, like, farmhands from. Like, I've known some farmers, but I swear some of these kids got their first pair of shoes when they showed up to boot camp. I don't know what it was.
Kids that didn't have addresses.
Yeah.
That they had to, their address was like directions.
Yeah.
I never knew that existed.
Yeah. I'm 4 miles past mile marker 2 on Highway 84.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Yeah, if you're ever in my town, Hecker, you come and visit. And I'm like, what? But I remember this one dude, and he was about as cowboy can look in working blues in boot camp. Like walking like he just got off a horse or whatever. And I'm there at my rack, and I'm writing letters to my girlfriend at the time. I got pictures of her out, wallet size, headshots, photos. And this guy comes over to me and he's like, "Hey, Hecker, is that your girl?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. That's mighty sweet of you writing her letters and such like that." He goes, "You hold on there a second, I'll be right back." And he goes over to his little cubby drawers, and this dude comes back with wallet-sized photo. But Gene, I'm not fucking kidding you. This was a professional photograph from in a studio, and it's a headshot of his horse. Like this dude brought his horse to a photography studio. Like, it had like the professional backdrop, and it's a headshot of his horse, like smiling. And I'm like, I don't know, like, I don't know if this dude's serious. I don't know if he's fucking with me. Like, I don't know what is going on right now. But I did not expect anybody to have a wallet-sized headshot photo of their horse to pull out and brag real quick. I was like, is he saying my girlfriend's ugly? Like I don't know what's going on. Yeah, you got a horse face, girl. I got me a girl. It's a horse face. Like, I don't know.
Oh, just beauty in the eye of the beholder. He's just, showing you.
That's my girl, Hecker. I miss her as much as you miss yours.
Was that horse that was the mayor?
What's that, Par?
Was the horse the mayor?
I don't know. I'm from Long Island. I couldn't tell you a mare from a fucking... I can tell you the difference between a horse and a pig and a cow. And a sheep and a goat and a chicken. I can tell you the difference between a regular chicken and a rooster. I know ducks make the best guard animals. I know that. Geese. You got a nice long driveway on your farm. That car turns off the main road onto that driveway. The geese, they just go ape shit. They hate trespassers.
Matt's, my wife's favorite video is when she took me down in Key West. And if you've ever been down, there's chickens and roosters all over the place, free range. And I started talking about, the big brown cock. And she's like, I said, they call me the cock man. I know all these cocks that are out here, the brown cocks, white cocks, black cocks, all the big cocks. I know.
Mm-hmm. You got to be careful because from what you were saying about how she texts, if you caught her, by herself, she might text you and say, I was just playing with this big brown cock over here. Come check it out.
I have so much that I want to say, but I shouldn't.
Feel free, Daz. This is a free speech zone.
I know that I'm gonna just hearing you lot talking about brown and white cocks is making me laugh.
All over, all the cocks all over Key West, Daz. They're all there. Free
You
range.
never heard that song that Gene wrote back in the day when he was a band? It goes like this. It goes, cock-a-doodle-doo, any cockle-doo. I eat them by the dozen, and they taste good, too. Gene wrote that.
Oh, my God.
By the dozen?
Yep. That's how they do it in Boston. They have big appetites.
Oh, my God.
I didn't know you could get those by the dozen.
A baker's dozen, too, Lana. At the high-quality establishments, it's a baker's dozen. The 13th one's free.
Wow.
Yeah, you buy 12. Buy 12. The 13th one's free. Justice knows. She picks them up all the time. She's always for that baker's dozen.
And the baker's dozen, the cock.
She can't talk right now. She's got her mouth full.
Oh my God, Eric, he's been so naughty today.
It happens, Daz. It happens.
This is what I love his character. He could be so raw as well, but you just got to get to know him.
I mean, I'm not a half-wit, Daz, but technically I'm a plumber from Long Island, so I do harbor issues that most people don't see. Daz, I'll tell you what. A lot of people may not know this, but if you want to hear some of the funniest, most gay conversations on the face of the earth, you just get on a job site where there's some plumbers ripping around. It's this, yeah. You can't lay pipe without making jokes about it. It's not possible. Can I snake your drain? I mean, come on. It's just you can't do this work without laughing about it. It's hilarious. Most plumbing parts were named by drunken Italians back in the day. So this is like, I'm sure, everybody's heard these stories about like, oh, the plumber was an asshole. I asked him what was the matter and he wouldn't talk to me because I'm a woman and it's disrespect. And it's like, no, because he can't tell you that you have drippy nipples, that the freaking ball cock in your toilet's no good. It's just, there's like certain conversations, it's just very challenging to have. It's like, sorry.
People don't believe their real words.
Yeah, they're totally legit plumbing terms. A brass tit. I mean, it just is the whole, it was a bunch of drunken Italians that got to name all the parts when all this stuff was brand new and there weren't any names yet. They were just like, that one's a silk cock, that one's a ball cock, that one's a hose cock. It's like, that's a lot of fucking cock in your truck. Yeah, and then the rest of the trades hate the plumbers because they just make all the conversations on the job sites gay, is what they basically accuse us of. And it's like, sorry. Just over here laying pipe, bro.
He's laying that big, thick,
rigid pipe.
Oh my God! See,
lest we forget, I don't know if you guys remember the Gene. You probably remember Johnson surfboard T-shirts back in the day.
Oh yeah,
right. They were really funny. But there's a tool manufacturer that makes the best plumbing tools, and it's called Rigid Tools. So
yeah,
they did some funny T-shirts back in the day, similar to like Johnson's surfboard T-shirts. You know, like real plumbers only work with rigid tools.
Yeah. Well, oil and gas, I remember there was actually a drilling company that was called Big Dick Drilling. And you'd see the trucks around West Texas or the Four Corners or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Big Dick Drilling.
I think if I remember correctly, there's a place up here called, up in Alaska, it's called Skinny Dick's Halfway In.
That's a good. West Virginia, there was a restaurant that was located at a split in the road.
Mm-hmm.
So one way road. So a Y, and it was called Eat It the Y.
Oh, nothing like some wordplay to get the brain gears going. Justice, you done with your baker's dozen yet, or what? What's going on up there?
What were you talking about?
Oh, Lana was talking about your discount deal on.
You see how he does this, accusing me?
Where was I? Oh, there was another place.
Me
I
under
forget.
the bus.
I forget where I was. There was a place called shit. Where was I? I think I'm getting this correctly. It was a place that sold sliders like White Castle, but I think it was called Dick's, and their ad literally said like, "Stop in and grab a bag of dicks."
Obviously, you would remember that title, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I get stuck on those types of things. It's plumbing humor. It's lowbrow plumbing humor, technically. But I'm not going to lie. That's my inner 12-year-old finds that stuff hilarious. Like when I see signs like that, I almost wreck the car when I see shit like that. I just start dying laughing, like, come in for a bag of dicks. Like, oh my God, I love it.
My little 12-year-old self, like, I perpetually have the humor of like a 12-year-old or a 14-year-old boy.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Whoopee cushion humor.
Oh my God. You know what's hilarious? So my daughter, she has autism. So, they like to repeat stuff over and over and over again that they think is funny.
It's funnier the 80th time, Justice. Come on.
Exactly. And my daughter got into this phase where she really liked the whoopee cushion. So she made my parents like sit on it like 85 times because she thought it was so hilarious. She was like, "Mom, sit down, sit down."
Daz, what do they call a whoopee cushion in the UK?
I kind of feel like there is another name, but whoopee cushion is the most frequently used term.
Mm-hmm.
But there is another term. That's the little red thing that you sit on and it makes that sound.
So now it makes me even wonder, in the UK, what do they call that sound when someone passes wind? Like, or you just go, "Oh, you farted." Who farted?
What? Hold on. Americans don't use the word fart.
We do. I just wasn't sure if you use the same word.
No, we actually say we rip ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's farted. Yeah, we use the same term.
Fair enough. I thought you maybe be like more polite, like, "Pardon me, I just broke wind."
But
It reminds me of Monty Python, where he's like, "I fought in your general direction."
Yes, that's a good one.
we
That's
do
true.
say broke wind as well.
I should have known it from Monty Python. Thank you for the refresher. I do like that. I fought in your general direction.
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries.
I always like, "I'm not dead yet." I use that one on the job site when like you totally slaughter yourself, like knock yourself half unconscious on the floor. You have to chime in with, "I'm not dead yet."
It's but a scratch.
Yes. It's a flesh wound. It's just a flesh wound.
I've never seen that. And there's like so many movies I have not seen. I've never seen The Matrix. I've never seen a lot of these alien UFO movies before. The only one I've ever seen is E.T. Like,
Okay, no, I have to object here. Okay, here are people who are literally in the UFO community, like frontliners for disclosure, like Red. Red's never seen The Fifth Element. How can he be?
I've
Oh my
never seen
gosh.
that either.
Never,
Especially-
never.
Yeah,
Correct,
I've
never.
never seen any of the big names that you guys talk about, like Contact. I've never seen like all
Contact's
the
Yeah,
good.
but in all fairness, Justice never even experienced electricity until she was 17 and got out of the swamps. So, I mean,
Oh, sweet Lord.
Well, I didn't have my experience until later, so like, I missed a lot.
she was all like, "You done got them electric candles? That ain't the Lord's light. I like me some of the Lord's light."
You sound just like my sister.
Them
Actually, 100%.
devil bulbs.
My sister told me I was going to hell for doing yoga, so
Oh,
you sound
Jesus.
just like her.
Oh, that's funny. She's doing the devil's stretches again.
And then I had like at one point I had my house decorated like Eastern, kind of style. And she's like, "Oh Lord, those are false idol worship in your house. You're gonna die."
How many pentagrams do you
She's
think
not
you'd
a
have to?
Christian.
How many pentagrams do you think you'd have to hang on the house before she starts spraying it down with a fire truck full of holy water?
Oh my gosh, she probably burned that bitch down for real. It's crazy.
You done been possessed by the devil. Playing that
and she's on this
foosball.
quick. She's like, "You better not talk to those UFOs. Those are demonic.
Oh boy.
That's the great deception."
Oh gosh, I love humans sometimes.
Mhm.
I have I have a preference, let's say, for toast made on the stove. I'll just
Oh,
frying pan with some butter.
okay.
And I think it was my first wife. She used to be like, "Why don't we just buy a toaster?" And I'd start out by saying, "Well, I just prefer it this way."
Mhm.
But it was one of those things she'd never let go. And so finally I started saying, because a toaster is the pathway to hell. It's how the devil gets in
Nice.
your home.
There you go.
And so it's somewhat become part of family lore now that I refuse to buy a toaster because I think it's the portal to hell.
It's because you were Judas in your play. That's why.
Yeah, you can't trust anybody that played Judas in school play.
He's very complex. And I think I
Right,
captured
you
it
read the part.
beautifully.
Justice was going to be in a school play. She wanted to be the guy that nailed Jesus to the cross.
I always played the angel.
You like that, Lana?
Yeah.
She's like, "I done got me my hammer and my nails, Mr. Director. You just let me at that Jesus Christ. I'll show him what's worth."
And my sister was probably looking at me the whole time, like,
Yeah, your sister was like, "Oh no."
I knew she was a devil woman.
I can be one of them Romans.
Yeah, sibling rivalry is crazy.
It is, to be honest with you, because, like, oh my God, like, I'm not gonna tell you all our dysfunctional drama, just little bits and pieces. But it got really bad when my mom got sick. And, I was there with the hospice people and I'm like listening to what they say. And, my sister comes in there trying to wash my mom's face and shit when, she only had a couple days left. And I'm like, just chill, let her rest. If you wake her up, she's gonna start feeling pain again. she just had to not listen to me, woke my mama up so many times, and then she did start feeling pain because I was trying not to give her the morphine and stuff.
Because you wanted it, right, Justice? You're like, don't be wasting it on her.
No, I didn't want anything to suppress her respiratory system, you know,
right.
because it was only a couple days, you know, that we had with her, so. Way to bring the room down.
There you go, Justice. When would your sister would say was probably the first time you summoned a demon into this planet?
Oh God, maybe when I was born, probably.
The shadow side came right in with you, according to her.
Yeah, like my sister, like all my family, they've always, like, I don't know, for me, my interpretation is I used to think that they all thought I was bad for some reason. But now that I'm an adult, like, I realize now, like, my sister was, I guess, like,
you just realized they were right?
No, she was narcissist, and all those years, like, she would go tell my mom, like, I was a bad person, or, you know, I did something to hurt her feelings, and then they all kind of, like, normal stuff, kids through sibling rivalry. It was so dysfunctional, y'all just don't understand.
Maybe if you'd given her a cut of all the money that you made from stealing from waitresses, she might have been happier.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you were just monopolizing the tables.
Yeah, look, I was just a kid, man. I just, you know, walked to my own beat, like, you know, minding my own business most of my childhood. But somehow I got always sucked into some kind of drama.
Refresh my memory. Did you just have the one sister?
So my parents were married before I had my younger sister, which is my, you know, full sibling, and then I have a half brother and half sister. Are you typing this in the computer so that you could dox me?
Lana's taking notes. That's not me.
I'm doing payroll right now. I'm trying to make sure my bitches get paid.
Getting paid, getting paid.
Bitches get paid, girl.
Yeah, do that, Lana. Don't mess up.
I'm trying.
Get everybody paid. Otherwise, Justice is going to come at you with her butterfly knife. How old were you, Justice, when you first started carrying a knife regularly? 6, 7?
Look, we used whatever was available when we needed it growing up.
Yeah, you're a derelict. You know it.
Yeah, in the 80s, everybody had a butterfly knife. You know, I'd be wearing cargo pants with all the pockets, and I have a butterfly knife.
Now, I did catch, so, you know, back a few years ago, there was a lot of civil unrest and stuff like that. And I looked at my daughter's car. She had, like, this big-ass, like, knife. What do you call those ones? Like...
Machete?
Yes. I was like, why do you have that? She's like, Mom, haven't you seen the violence on TV? I'm like, calm down. I'm like, calm down, little psycho.
She's going to have to de-limb someone.
You never know when you got to pull over to the side of the road and just chop through a forest.
In Nicaragua, everybody runs around with a big old honking machete on their hip, and then they make their own custom, like, fancy sheaths for the machetes. It's like, you know, they don't have a lot in life, but everybody's got a machete and their own custom sheath. And, yeah, it makes it very respectful when everybody's, like, ready to take someone's limbs off.
Were you there for a deployment or you were just vacation?
Oh, I was there to party, Par. I was there for cheap margaritas and amazing street food. That's what I do. That's my jam, Par. I don't deploy anymore. I enjoy. I was there for enjoyment, not deployment.
That's a T-shirt right there.
Right? Enjoyment, not deployment. You're actually, Gene. You're correct.
Navy veteran. Enjoyment, not deployment.
Yeah, I'm constantly deployed on the boardwalk here.
There you go. Deploy me a margarita and 3 street tacos, please.
Yeah, all you got to do is show up. I'll bring you to the club, and you can eat and drink and be merry like we all do.
I hope they make giant margaritas in Atlantic City.
Absolutely.
There's nothing worse when you order a margarita and they bring you one of them half ones. You're like, you son of a bitch. Who the fuck drinks miniature margaritas? Margaritas are meant
They
to be
even
big.
they even have buckets of rum and Coke.
There you go.
I think I was down in Atlantic City last year. Got my picture with at the that Miss America statue getting crowned, I think.
Yeah, that's down by across from Boardwalk Hall. Did you go in and see the giant steam powered organ?
No, miss
inside?
that.
I'd like to
yeah,
see
because
that.
you can do that tour. You can do that tour. It's you would see all the plumbing that you ever want to see in your life doing that. It's all steam organ. It's fucking from the 20s. It's awesome.
Oh, that's not true. Part. You have no idea how much plumbing I want to see in my life. It can't possibly be all right there, but that would certainly be plumbing I would want to see. I'm like a spaz. Where the hell was I? I think Ketchikan, Alaska, I think, had like some sort of boiler room on display. I think it was for like the drawbridge or something there. But I was like, wow, it's like a boiler room museum. And I think I was probably the only person that ever visited that was interested.
I'm always fascinated when I go to Central New York on the Erie Canal and watching the what the hell are they called now? The system that lets the boats in and out.
Oh, the locks.
The locks. Yeah. Love watching the locks.
The other good locks in New York is the locks on the bagel with the schmear or cream cheese. Maybe some capers. Red onion.
I just put in the purple pill. It just showed up on my feed. The pink drink that everybody used to drink. So it's in the comment section.
Oh boy. Oh, look at that. Oh, that looks not as white looking.
We had pink and we had also like green too.
Yeah, the green one I remember more actually. Like I remember the pink one sometimes, but I remember the one that was more like had that. It was such a light tinge of green, and even this stuff looks a bit more pink than I recall. But I'm checking it out
Like,
right now.
I mean, you think about it, like what the fuck were they giving us? Like for real.
Oh, this is from Emma. She interviewed me a couple times, I think. Man, I would like to be able to read that damn bottle, though. Where's the MSDS sheet for this thing?
Exactly. I mean, think about that, how toxic that shit was, like how toxic some of that stuff was that we were exposed to. I mean, we're still exposed to a lot of
Think about just the
toxins
fact
now.
that the exposure occurred. I mean, I couldn't... The waste that I would lay if my kid came home from school and told me the stuff, like if what happened to me as a kid happened to him, holy cow. I mean, to me, I would plead temporary insanity and call it a fucking day. Hope that I had a good jury that understood. Like, just without pause. Like, wait, they did what to you? They put eye drops in? What are you fucking talking about?
And that bottle in that photo down there, that's exactly the bottle that I remember. And they would be like, we would occasionally get the pink. We would usually get the greenish, like the light green. It's like a watery looking green. But, you know, and they would always be in these little cups. And, you know, I thought everybody got that.
Well, that's the whole thing, is the kids don't know any better when all the adults are lying. See, we had the wax paper pleated cups that are a little shorter than those, and they brought them in on trays. So I don't really ever recall seeing the dispenser. They just came in with a tray of them. That's a lot right there. Like we had, I guess maybe a smaller amount of children, so I would be surprised if there was a dozen cups on the tray.
And we had those little like paper cups too, the little tiny paper cups. And so it's like, perfectly measured. And it, obviously I think it had to be like something like a US program, because the bottles are just the same, the cups like you describe are the same.
Yeah, probably all. They were ordering off the same order sheet from the program to get the discounted bulk rate purchases. Because that's how that shit works too.
Exactly,
Like,
because
these are all the
even
supplies that you're going to need for the program. And if you order from us, we can get you a discounted price because we're ordering in bulk and redistributing from the SRI center. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I mean, they didn't give us like Dixie cups or shit like that. Like it
Yeah,
was
they
very
came in with a tray. I never saw dispensers.
Does anyone remember them coming in and checking your spine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the scoliosis check. Yep.
I'll tell you one thing that I remember that I would say is a little bit more special to my experience was I actually remember going for EKGs and EEGs with great regularity. Like, I'm very familiar with that process from back in the day. And it's, I remember not enjoying it in the slightest, but I remember every bit of it and doing it like very regularly. So
right, and you've got that gummy thing on your head.
Yeah,
where
the little sticky
stuck.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, and then the one that they would put on your nut sack, and it was cold. Like, they'd be like, "Stay still." Like, it was always like, they freaking hit you from top to bottom.
It's cold outside.
Huh?
It's okay. It's cold outside.
Mm-hmm. And it was a fucking it's Antarctica. It looks much bigger off continent. Yeah, I remember.
The Seinfeld episode Shrinkage.
Yeah. But yeah, the EKG and the EEG stuff to me in hindsight is just pure lunacy. Like, why was I going through that all the time? But then, when you read into these programs and you find out, that, when they're trying to fuck with your head, they need, baseline references, and then they need to see what has changed, what hasn't changed, what happens when we do this, what park, so it's like, fuck. And it was my mom that would take me to all of that stuff. So, like I had mentioned earlier, I've spoken to my dad on this topic. I don't speak to my mom for many reasons, so I've yet to be able to pick her brain on it. But yeah, she was the one shuttling me through the program.
I'm looking back now, thinking about all this stuff, and I feel like I don't know if they have different aspects of the program that focus on different things, but it feels like for me it was a lot of athletic ability. Like my gym teacher would tell me, the county record is this for whatever, long jump, high jump, like sprints. And when she would tell me what it was, I would be like one of the top 5 in the entire county. And I feel like for some reason it was almost like some kind of issue with trying to get me to beat these physical records. And I even got like presidential awards and shit.
I think, in a way, like, yes, the sports stuff matters, but I think it's more that they were looking for the people that could be goaded into trying harder, a competitive streak. That if a challenge could be thrown at your feet, that you would be willing to engage to the point of success.
And it's weird now that you were talking about this, like it's just coming to me. There was another guy who was in my school too. Now we were both like, naturally smart, and also naturally athletic. But they would do the same thing to him, and he would also get the county records because they would post the county records in the hallway. And me and Brandon, I would, we're kind of competitive because I was like, "Oh, you just got the second to the highest in the county for long jump."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was kind of goofy when it came to sports as a kid. Wasn't necessarily the best, wasn't the worst, but was certainly like nowhere near the best. But academically, I was a lunatic. Like, I remember there was this one chick that through like all of the grades of grammar school, it was like me and this one girl that were just always competing to have like the best test scores constantly. And it was like the class would wait, like the teacher would put all of our tests face down on the desks and we would all flip them over at the same time. And I'd be like looking like, what did you get? And she'd be like, what did you get? You know, I'm like, I asked you first, you know, and then she'd be like, you know, I got a 99. And I'm like, I got 100. I beat you this time. You know, like, yeah, it was, when it came to academics, I wanted to just destroy people.
Me too. Oh my God, I loved doing that. Now, I mean, I ain't gonna fuck with you in math class. Like that was my thing. Look, yeah, math. I was not, whatever, not interested in that. But if it was something I was interested in, like I was very competitive. I had to have the highest like grade in the class, or I was pissy.
I never had a problem with math in grammar school. High school, I think I just was so non-participatory that I just straight up was just trying to slide by. But everything in grammar school to me, I mean, I can't really explain because I didn't study. Like I read everything, but I never studied. I just had like immediate osmosis. Like once I saw something, I learned it like immediately and knew it. Math, I mean, I feel like a retard saying it, but it's like obviously elementary school math is easy. But at the time, when it's hard for everyone else, it meant nothing to me. Like I would just simply say like I knew the answer. Like that's all I could say is like, you know, they put a math problem in front of me. Like when other kids would have to start figuring and calculating and you know, going through the motions of what they were taught to get an answer. I didn't do any of that. I just knew the answer. And that's all I can really say. And it was actually problematic when I was a kid and probably what got me in the GATE program. You know, the teachers were constantly like, you have to show the work, which I couldn't comprehend. I'm like, I don't understand why I have to show you the work if I know the answer. And they're like, well, you can't just know the answer. I'm like, but I'm right?
Well, I noticed that too. Like now that you're talking about it, all through school, I never read, I never studied, I never did any homework. I'm in elementary school, yes, but like in middle school and high school, I never did ever. And you know, it's amazing that I even passed.
Yeah, grammar school math to me was just the answers were in my head. It's just to me it was too fucking easy.
And then I made the mistake of my later years. I took the ASVAB, and that was, and like
I crushed that.
Yeah, I took when I was 15, and they tried to bother me, and they're not allowed to unless you're 16. So, but they still tried to bother me. They call me.
That's what got me lined up in the submarine service was my ASVAB scores being so high, and then in certain particular categories of preference to the submarine service, they were all up my shit.
Yeah, I qualified for missile technician too at 15 years old.
Nice.
Yeah, they were like, you can do whatever you want in the military. And there, you know, I was like so close to becoming like a nuclear engineer in the Army. But, you know, I'm not that disciplined, so I backed down.
I remember them telling me that too when I was 18 years old and doing the ASVAB. I'm like, they said the exact same thing. They're like, you can do whatever you want in the military. And I was like, all right, I'll be the guy in charge. And they're like, all right, pretty funny, but.
My mom was wanting me, she's like, you should go in and be a nurse in the military. And
oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, nah, I'm good. I don't want to be a
corpsman
nurse.
in the Navy is like the slowest advancing rate in all the military.
Yeah, they wanted me to play trumpet in the band in the military, and I'm like, there's no way I'm doing that. Because I wasn't good at shaving because I had the bump problem. Which they got rid of that, the need for that qualification. But now they brought it back. Now they brought it back, though.
I'm trying to remember what they called it now. I can't think of it. You a white dude, Par? And you get the bumps? trying to remember what they called that now. I remember that being an issue. They would get a shave chit so they didn't have to shave.
Contact dermatitis.
Oh, Jiminy Crickets with you and your big words. We got our new word today from Justice. She beat you, Wolf. Contact dermatitis.
I like to solve medical problems for fun.
Oh, boy. What the hell was that show?
House.
Thank you. Yeah. Was that your favorite show? You watched that and the fucking
actually,
Bachelorette?
It actually was one of my favorite shows. And it's funny because like my best friend, he is still like a medical emergency room doctor. And while he was going to medical school, like I used to help him study, I would give him scenarios and then he would find out the answer.
Mm-hmm. Lana's getting everybody paid. Throw in some overtime for a couple of folks, Lana. Just pretend it was an
I'm
accident.
almost done. I just got 2 agents left to go.
Be civil disobedient. Damn the man, and just give a couple of people an extra hour overtime.
Nah.
Yeah, just randomly pick.
Yeah, just
an extra hour.
Come
I
on, like Robin Hood. Just take it from the rich, give it to the poor.
Nah. You guys usually have these fire ideas, but these ones are kind of dumb.
Oops, you got a raise. Oops, you got a raise.
No, all of our upskilling and raises and bonuses and incentives are merit derived.
There you go.
So, which I agree with. I think it's important for people to push themselves to earn.
As long as they actually give people raises based on merit instead of just saying it and being like, oh, you're doing a really good job, but we're going to fire you because you're doing such a good job that might force us to give you a raise. So therefore, we're going to have a reduction in force this week and take on all new people next week that work for less.
I'm the one that's actually in charge of that process for my team.
Oh, okay.
So tomorrow, I carved out an hour of time tomorrow to go over this with my OM, so that way he can see my individual proposals for my team. And then he basically gives me the okay to submit it to our general manager. And then she confirms once the information has been updated in our payroll processing. It's like a little website that we utilize. So yeah, I enjoy it. I like doing it, especially on years like this year. This year, all of my agents are receiving merit increase.
Nice.
So, and it also makes me feel good because
absolutely. You know what I learned many years ago? Happy people work harder.
That's so true.
And the best way you can keep an employee happy is to fucking pay them appropriately for their labors, because that's what they're there for.
It's true, y'all.
Yeah. These chintzy companies.
Yeah, if you're a worker, always negotiate for your highest salary that you possibly can. Initially.
From the jump. Oh, good morning there, Mr. Wolf. You got your hand up there.
Mr. Wolf.
I often think of employer-employee relations as something that's inherently adversarial.
Hell yeah.
But not necessarily hostile.
Right.
It can be adversarial without hostility.
Yep.
And we are often encouraged not to think in those terms because they certainly do.
Yep. I've said it plenty of times in employment circumstances. I said, you may look at me like as an employee, as someone that works for you. I said, I see what's going on here as a business relationship or agreement. And
that's a good framing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, technically I could look at it as the boss works for me. I could come up with a whole conversation of how if your company doesn't meet the levels of the company that I need to be in a business relationship with, you're now limiting my ability to generate money. Right? If you're going to run your business so poorly, hey, good morning, hey Ocean. If you're going to run your business so poorly that you can't afford to get me a raise, you've failed me.
Right.
I know this one trick. I had this one boss who would like micromanage. He'd always come in and like check on me like a million times, all of us. So I started handing him things when he
Yep.
came in the room. I'd be like, "Can you take this to the laundry room? Can you fill this up with soap? Do you mind getting me a new pencil?" I'd just make up something as soon as I saw him, and then he
Absolutely.
would leave me alone because
Yep.
he wouldn't want me to send him on little tasks. Yeah.
Yep. There's nothing bosses or management hate more than you giving them work to do.
I mentioned the adversarial nature of the employer-employee relationship in the context of hostility because of a piece of propaganda I saw today. So if I don't want to derail the lighter talk, if you guys are ready, or when you're ready to move to a slightly more gravitationally dooming topic, let me know.
Throw us your propaganda. We'll absorb it regardless and see what happens.
Tell me how you feel hearing this, okay? One homeland, one people, one heritage. Remember who you are, American.
When did...
Oh, it makes me feel proud to be indigenous.
Sounds to me like somebody was plagiarizing Hitler.
Thank you, Eric. That's exactly what just happened. The U.S. Department of Labor put out a post with that exact phrase shared in the bubble down below. It should make us all realize that the relationship we have between, the relationship that exists between the citizenry and the governments in the broader Western context, it's always been slightly adversarial. It's now entered the phase of top-down hostility, and they're not hiding it anymore.
I don't think they've ever been hiding it.
I think they're getting better at revealing it, though, technically.
Yeah.
They've increased spotlighting it.
The fascism should not be surprising anybody at this point.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's been increasing day by day.
There's no excuse for your naivete.
Oh, we're getting into poetry now. This is getting good. Quick, Justice, your turn. Now rhyme.
No, I'm good.
The word for the day, Eric, is one you already know, but our listeners might not have a full grasp of it. And it's a word you've explained to me that you enjoy and like quite a lot. Not enjoy, but you like it a lot. You appreciate it. The word is reciprocity.
Yes. No, that's one of my favorite words in all of the English language that I wish people considered more in many dynamics. Reciprocity.
Fidelity.
Ooh, clarify that one for me. I know I'm familiar with the term, but you're better at defining things tightly. What would your definition of fidelity be?
Fidelity would be a word I can't give you the exact definition, but it means to me, and the dictionary definition would bear this out, but
okay.
There's an accord between the outward insistence of the nature of something and the actual expression of it. So if you are a son or daughter with fidelity to your parents, you honor them in all the ways that means in our culture.
Okay.
If you are a lawyer, right, you have a sense of fidelity to not just the spirit of the law in the sense of law and order, but in the principle of justice to be carried out. And if there is a disconnect between those two things, the level of fidelity is deprecated. It is reduced. It is erased. It has been dissolved in some kind of meaning acid. Faithfulness in a sense, but much more of a tangible sense. Fidelity. High fidelity audio. That sounds exactly like it did when they played it, right?
Huh. I think I would be a high fidelity plumber.
Fidelity to your spouse.
I was a high fidelity plumber because above and beyond what was necessarily appropriate for the customer or the employer, I also felt that I was trying to raise the standard of the industry, that it was a respect to plumbing as a trade, as something that provides potable water and hygiene to a society. And I know it probably sounds silly and people are laughing and be like, what a retard, like this guy's like so loves plumbing, but like that would be like, it was a big deal to me. Like I respect what plumbers provide to a civilization on a level that probably makes me look like a knucklehead.
Without it, we wouldn't have civilization as we know it because of the concentration of humans and animals in urban zones.
Yeah. I mean, I get that you can probably have a greater appreciation for plumbing systems around us, but most people look at me like I'm some retard, and it's like, do you understand exactly what's going on when it comes to plumbing infrastructure and who provides that? Like, most people just think of a guy with a plumber's crack unclogging a toilet. I get that, but it's a bit more complex than that, folks.
Some folks believe sanitation is magic, right? I remember seeing a couple of folks at a Just Stop Oil protest, and they were complaining about, carbon-based pollution and so on. And why do people need to farm? Why can't they just go to the store and get their food? Why do you have to farm? Like, they literally had no idea that the food in the stores comes from raw materials, harvested and grown through agricultural labor, farming, right? But fidelity, right? You know the word infidelity, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the opposite of that. So fidelity is honoring and fulfilling your duties and obligations, right? The social contract, for example, is inherently rooted in reciprocity and fidelity, not just to the letter of the contract, but to the spirit of it.
Fair
We
enough.
don't live in a civilization anymore where that fidelity is robust.
How about in regards to the topic at hand today? Be bold of action. What does that statement bring to mind when you hear it?
Me personally, or just
you
in
personally?
General for the...
No, you personally. When you see "be bold of action," what does that make you think in the world that we're in today? If somebody said to you, "Woof," do you believe the world is lacking boldness of action?
No, I don't think it's lacking boldness of action. I think it's lacking in fidelity to principles of honor and duty and legacy.
Okay.
So the boldness of action we can see unfolding in the streets of the United States right now, and then in the courtrooms of the United Kingdom and Canada with regards to censorship and thought policing. So our governments certainly have no hesitation to be bold in their actions. As a matter of fact, they're so bold that they're essentially teabagging everything we've considered to be unalienable human rights right in front of us. And they
understood. But now, wouldn't that just mean that there's a lack of boldness of action from the side getting teabagged?
100%.
Right.
In red, white, and blue.
Right. I guess that was probably more the direction that I was thinking of, was that in the face of the boldness of actions of those that are enemies of we, the people of the planet, any suggestions for the activities of we, the people, to be a bit more bold or inspire such boldness?
I think that we need, what's the word? Like enjoyment of, like, if we're talking about work, right? Whatever work you do, but like you have to, like, I don't think people feel a drive to be bold in something they're not passionate about.
Okay.
So maybe there's a lack of boldness because people are lacking that passion and they become, what's the word?
Lethargic.
Exercise, right? The concept of exercise. The older you get, if any of you are older than 30 or 40 or 50, you've realized the changes in your joints and your mobility, your range of motion, right? If you begin an exercise regimen and you literally limber up, right, over months and a couple of years, you change your health situation, right? So if you exercise your body, if you exercise your powers of movement, you exercise your powers of reason, they improve. Well, here in the West, we have established in documents that there are certain, God-given, whatever God means to you, the God of your understanding, whether it's a deity or just the forces of nature. I don't want to all of us with unalienable rights, not in remain limber and in fighting trim form. We don't have that now. I have a particular appreciation for First Amendment auditors in the United States. I believe they're doing noble work, those who do it with a sense of grace and dignity and fidelity to the Constitution. I hope more people begin to exercise their rights, but I suspect that the boldness of action on the part of, and I'll be very frank here, the murder regimes that rule the world may not react kindly to that exercise regimen.
Fair enough, but exercise needs to be had regardless. I apologize. I just had to switch to the phone when you were talking with my audio started jamming up on the laptop, so I missed a bit of what you were saying there.
Have you noticed how glitchy spaces have been over the last month or two?
Oddly, mine seem to have been improving, to be honest with you. So I will completely take your word for it. I understand spaces can be glitchy, but I do feel like mine have been less glitchy.
I bet Trump's behind it.
Obviously.
I think it's best not to take sides in that. I think that bold authorities with an illegitimacy problem are behind it.
The issue is they got like half a guy that is in charge of making sure spaces run, and he's probably like in on Tuesdays or something. And so they need more people. I know Logan has offered. He's like been in glitchy spaces and been like, Elon, I will do it for free. Just let me fix this goddamn app.
A lot of it has to do with bandwidth and the codec compression and the software.
Well, I mean, I'm existing simultaneously in all of the spaces where you guys are right now. That's pretty fucking cool. If it glitches every once in a while, maybe that's just a part of where we're at. But I mean, like back in the day, could you imagine like telling people you're gonna be able to pick up a phone and be in Alaska and be in the United States and be in the UK and speak to those people directly all at the same time simultaneously? Like,
yeah, we had it in the 80s. We had group phone calls in party rooms.
Yeah,
Elon ain't that fancy.
Meetings.
Oh gosh, remember emergency breakthroughs, Eric?
Yes, I do actually. I have not heard of that in a long time, but yes, you could do an emergency breakthrough with the operator. Oh, that's so funny. Blast from the past.
They would voltage down the line.
So how many times did you do that, Justice, because you were dating some dude and he was on the phone and you did an emergency breakthrough and you're like, who in the hell have you been talking to for 3 hours? I want to know her name. You tell me her name.
I can promise you at least 20 for sure.
I so knew it. I knew it.
Explain the emergency breakthrough to these young bucks here so that they understand the gravity of what it was like.
Okay, so here's how the emergency breakthrough would work. You'd be on the phone with one of your friends and you would just be chatting and chilling, and all of a sudden the operator comes on and is like, we have an emergency breakthrough. Are you willing to accept? And then it would be like some crazy girl that was like, why haven't you called me back? And then the operator switches them on, and Justice just confirmed it. She said no less than 20 times was she said lunatic girl, probably in a varsity football jacket or something, and like, you ain't called me in 7 days, Earl. I'm going to take that El Camino and drive it off a cliff now.
Like, it wasn't even just like guys. Like, I would do it to my best friends too. Like, if I had something to tell them or they had something to tell me and I wasn't available, them bitches would emergency break through me too.
I would imagine that like confidential conversations obviously would have been overheard a lot more back.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, there are ways to do it. I could describe how it's done, but I won't.
Very good. I'm just saying.
Oh Jesus Christ! I knew how to
I love having.
I knew how to do a hard tap on a phone back in the day from the junction box on the outside of the house. I mean, no, not remotely. I mean hard.
Bridging junction.
I mean physically tapping the line, like with a test set, like a test receiver set. Like all you really need to do, like you could go to your neighbor's house, connect phone to their box, and bring it back to your house if you wanted to. Like it was hardware back in the day. Yeah, I mean,
there was a remote. There was called Remob. It was remote observation existed, and people didn't know. And we hacked the phone company, so we knew all the stuff, and we had ways to do everything.
Remember, only half the people paid for cable too. Like everybody used to use their cable shit, their neighbor's shit.
Right. Yeah, I worked in Comcast. It's the original local cable for most people since the 70s. So, I had to secure all that.
And if you really got a cool cable person or whatever, sometimes they would leave whatever open so that it was easily accessible.
Well, they put locks on them too. You could break that lock off.
Oh, I could break into anything, goddamn guaranteed, Par. If there was a reason to be in there, I found my way in there. But I did have a question for Hey Ocean, since she's a mom and has a youngster, and we're talking about the be bold of action. I'm curious you don't have to answer if you don't want to, and blah, blah, blah. But I find you to be a very nice, I would almost say like timid type of person. But I'm curious because I had said earlier, like we no longer teach children to be bold of action. And I just wonder, have you had this type of conversation with your youngster about being, bolder than more timid? Just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. He's turning out like me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think when you raise a little human, you get them to express why they want what they want, right? So say if he asks me for something, whether he's going to get it or not, I will ask him like, well, why? Why do you want that? Why do you think that? And I get him to explain like why he wants what he wants. He is very bold about the things that he wants for sure. And I think that comes in like not repressing that boldness. So like maybe a child, when they really want something and they express themselves, instead of curating that energy of some parents just say, no, be quiet, or I'm not going to hear this from you. And that kind of like, it stunts, it retards like someone who's learning the ability to express themselves in a bold way and know how to do that, like, and be accepted. So I think like as a parent, you need to accept a child's boldness, which I think will come if you have a safe environment. I think boldness is pretty natural in children. And so then it's just about how do you shape that like in a positive way or in a way that's like non-abusive, right? Like you don't want the child to develop like tactics that are unhealthy, or you don't want them to shut down whenever they get really excited about something because that energy is not going to be accepted, right? So I think boldness in children is natural. It's about how you respond to that boldness.
Would you be cool with
both ways too?
I'm assuming that you'd be cool if he came home with a black eye but told you that he gave the bully a bloody nose in return?
The rule is you don't swing first. And then once you put them on the ground, then you stop hitting. Those are my rules. So
fair enough. Yeah, I was always raised, don't start trouble, but finish it.
Yeah, my grandpa would say he'd put people on the ground and then say, I'll stay there. So hopefully that. But we don't hit people that are smaller than us, and we don't bully. And once someone is unable to defend themselves, we don't hit, because then it becomes a crime, right? So
yeah, on the boardwalk out here, when people get in a fist fight, it's always stay down, stay down.
Yeah, I think the world was a bit better when we had children deal with bullies themselves versus trying to run it up the chain of command.
Oh, my son is also very big. Like he's tall and he is heavy. Like he's huge for his age. He's a little giant. So um kids do kind of like pick on him, but he's big enough that like he can just kind of, I don't know, he brushes it off. It doesn't affect him emotionally, right? This one girl jabbed him with the pencil in the arm. I was not impressed. I'm like, who's her mother? Anyone tell me? But like yeah, so it's like I'm blessed there that like I was given a giant child who is pretty confident and pretty strong and pretty resilient to pain and resilient to bullying because he just doesn't care. He's big enough it doesn't hurt him type of thing. But he's also a free thinker, and that comes at a cost, dude. Because now he's out there with his opinions all the time. But
It's a
like,
double-edged
I think
sword, huh?
that's so important, getting children to like think for themselves, and like especially because of how bad media like influence that happens with social media and other forms of media. Like you have to, like more than ever, you have to stop and think about like why you're clicking on what you're clicking on, right? It's like way worse than it used to be.
That was one of my favorite things about being a dad and watching a teeny little human grow, was like you could literally like sit there and almost watch the gears turning in their head as they're considering something for the first time. I thought that was so cool.
Well, we did that last night, but it was about sex stuff. He had questions. He's 8. And so I had to try to explain, in child terms, like age appropriate, his questions, and he just sat there staring at the ceiling, thinking about what I said. And I'm like, I don't know. You asked, so
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, I never had to have those engagements with my boys. But yeah, I could see it being funny.
The guys growing up, we all learn from each other.
That's okay. Not Wolf Par. This is it's a don't ask, don't tell environment. So
No, I don't mean that way. I mean,
just kidding.
You're just comparing notes.
right? I did tell him sometimes you might want to think about what the answer might be before you ask the question to decide if that's really how you want to ask your question, buddy. But yeah, I don't know. It's okay. It's good. I'm happy that he'll come to me and ask me stuff instead of just like, I don't know, being too afraid to ask, or like that's a good part of being bold, right? You don't know and you ask. And so
I remember part of the stuff my dad used to say was, don't ask questions for which you can't handle the answer.
I can handle anything.
My mom has a really good phrase for me. She says, don't come to me with complaints unless you're already working on the solution.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I love it.
Oh, that reminds me of my Catholic upbringing, is if you had a problem, the church was like, God helps those who help themselves.
Right. I don't know, though. I think I'm going to use that with my kids because, like, yes, I want advice, but I'm not looking for advice because I'm helpless. I'm thinking about the different pathways that I could take to like amend my situation, and I'm looking for counsel instead.
I was always big into fixing things. Like I remember being a little kid and, my bike would break or something. And I had, I was a little fucking kid. So it's not like I knew what I was doing yet. But I remember my dad would just set me up with like the right tools. Like he would look at the problem and be like line up the tools that I would need. And then he would like, you can figure out the rest now. Which almost always worked. Sometimes it's hard to use wrenches when you're a teeny little kid to loosen stuff up that was installed at like factory specs. You're like, son of a bitch, this thing's tight.
That's what he said.
Good one, Lana.
Sorry.
I'm just looking around the space here, and to the best of my knowledge, we may have 3 of the filthiest female minds.
What can I say? I am my
Lana,
mother's
Justice,
daughter.
and Sarah Beth, right? Definitely.
I was thinking Justice, Lana, and Hey Ocean.
Sarah Beth is our angel.
I don't know Sarah well enough to put her in the category. Maybe we have 4, and I just was unknowing.
Undercover freak, this one. Yeah, never know.
What, me?
What, me?
Nah.
She's a sweet little angel.
But I'm definitely putting Justice as the queen in this category here.
Yeah, she is the alpha of
I'm an undercover alpha.
Justice would have made a great plumber.
I'm an innocent angel too. I'm the star that led the way to the manger where the Christ child lays. That's like the one line I've ever had in a play. So I say it like all the time in family reunions just to remind them that I was the star.
I'm still picturing you with the hammer and the nails in the school play. Come here, Jesus. I'm going to show you something. Rebel rouser.
You know what's funny though? Like we had a talent show one year and everybody, like was on stage or whatever in the elementary school I was in. And it's so cheesy now I think about it. But I did a gymnastics routine to like this one song, Lean on Me. I can't believe I said it out loud.
Okay, what version of Lima was it?
It's a newer version.
The 90s one. Okay.
Yeah.
Club Nouveau, I think, did that.
Yes. It was so
cheesy. Dancing to that.
I was thinking of the "Lean on Me When You're Not Strong" song. I'll be your friend. For
that doesn't have a good dancing
won't
beat
be
at all.
long till Justice is gonna need a quarterback to lean on.
Yeah, it was really cheesy, especially like thinking about the cheesy gymnastics poses.
Are there any deadheads in here besides me?
Was that metal?
God rest Bob Weir.
Yeah, a huge loss. Seriously, on a serious note, like I'm glad that you. Sure, there's some incredible songs and music. Very sad, and it's a reminder of how temporary life is. A scary.
All of my friends were huge deadheads. I was never really big into the Grateful Dead, but I absolutely would go to every Dead show that I could, mostly just for the fun of the parking lots. There were a couple of times.
Parking lot.
There's a couple of times where I got into an event because we as Rev Mooks probably knows, we found our miracle. So there's a couple times we got inside.
I want to get to your first show. Can I try?
Dude, I don't even remember which one was my first show, to be honest.
Well, you don't know where.
I don't.
It had to be Brandenburg Arena.
I've never been to the Brandenburg Arena.
The Brendan Byrne, but okay, was it at well for you being? I'm guessing you were on Long Island at the time in the late '80s.
That would be my best guess. 88? My best guess would probably be it was either the Nassau Coliseum or Jet Stadium.
Nassau Coliseum would be multiple years, and Giant Stadium would have been one. But I'm guessing 80,
Meadowlands, the Meadowlands.
Meadowlands, 89.
So, it would have been either the Meadowlands or Nassau Coliseum that I saw them at first, and I just can't remember which one.
Was it one of the shows that guy Adam Katz died at? Remember the kid was killed in the parking lot down there?
Wow, that rings a bell, but I don't recall.
Yeah, I knew it. That was your first run, like a round there. I was at those.
For me, it would have been the the mid 90s, so probably maybe like 92, 3 or 4. Well, so 93. So this is a funny one. So 93, I was a senior in high school. It would have been June of 93 at the Meadowlands.
I was at that too, dude. Action Park and Grateful Dead shows. How do you beat the Northeast?
So you're familiar with the lay of the land at the Meadowlands, right? Like what the stadium looks like. So they got them big windy spiral, walkways that go up. So we were in the parking lot, and we didn't have tickets. We were just there partying. It was a school night too, and we were fucking partying at a Dead show. It was my senior year. Like it was like one of the last weeks of school, and we were on the back end of the facility where it was all locked up, like you couldn't even get in or out. And there was this dude walking with a big, huge duffel bag by the fence line, and all of a sudden he busts out these massive bolt cutters and he clips the freaking lock and rips the gate open. And me and my friends were maybe like 20 yards away from him, and he just starts tearing into the property. So we got on his heels, but the next thing you know, like the whole parking lot figured out that the back gate was open. So everyone just started pouring in, and we were running up the spiral.
That was Giant Stadium then.
Okay. So then as we were running up the spiral, security started coming out to like think that they were going to slow everyone down, but there was just too many people. So they just like literally did a 180 and they ran away. And me and my friends were like the first 6 people in like a sea of thousands of people now breaking into the event. We ran all the way up the top spirals, and then when you got to the top, there was like a cinder block wall that we jumped over, and now we were on the top level, and we showed up just in time for the encore sets. And
you didn't get in for the whole show?
No. It was like the end of the concert, but we caught the encore sets. And it was a debacle. We were so messed up on shit. Like, I think we were on acid, shrooms, weed, everything. I remember at the end of the event, so this was in Jersey on a school night. I remember everybody arguing, like, who's going to drive home? I'm too messed up. And then next thing I know, I'm driving, and I'm thinking, well, I guess I lost that argument. Like,
I remember, I know like that in those years, they were sending around the newsletter from the band that was like, it was just a constant like reminder to the audience that like they had already screwed up in like a dozen other cities and done stuff like that. And they were like, you guys are going to ruin this permanently. And it was like,
I remember I got home from that concert like 15 minutes before I was supposed to leave to go to school. And I walked in the door, and my mom was so mad at me. I remember her just looking at me and being like, don't even think that you're not going to school right now. And I was like, I know. And I went and put my Catholic school uniform on and got right back in the car and drove to school, and was just like, oh, I feel like such shit right now.
Dude, that sounds terrible. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, my first was 1987, Oakland. That was, there was like a tour of Dylan and all them. And this was on the heels of that. The Dead played. So I was in the parking lot with my friends, and, we're just buying drugs constantly. My friend hands me like a quarter of mushrooms, and he's like, hold on to this. I'm like, okay. But by the time the night was over, I'd eaten the whole fucking bag.
The Dead shows were the only place you can get nitrous balloons. Those were fun.
They call those whippets here. I've never done that. I once watched someone do a whippet, and they fell down, like almost had a seizure, and then they popped up, and they're like, whoa! And I'm like, I don't know, dude. That doesn't really look like fun to me.
Yeah, whippets are for the cream sprayers at the bakery. See, they come in these little individual things you can buy, and you get a thing called a cracker to open them. You crack it open and
whippets in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
When I was an apprentice plumber and engaged in saving up for a wedding, I used to work at the local grocery store at night at the end of my plumbing shift. So I had multiple jobs many times in my life. And they made me like the night dairy manager, you know, real distinguished title. And I remember we used to have like crackheads come in and they would go over to the Cool Whip containers and start doing whippets like right there in the aisle. And then my store manager would chase them out and then grab me, you know, because I'm the night dairy shift manager. And he'd always be like, you know, take the stuff in the back, clean it up, you know, clean up this whole mess that they made, because there'd be, you know, whipped cream all over the place. And then they would always say like, and make sure you take account of how many cans are wasted. So I always made sure that I went back and sucked down like 6 of them myself and just added it to the list of, look what that crackhead did.
That's so bad for your developing brain.
Yeah, if you look at the MRI, it's when you do it, you see these little bright white pinpoints in your brain as they're doing it.
Yeah, you know what else is bad for your brain? The plumbing industry and folding sheet lead to make shower pans and doing it with your bare hands and then eating lunch with lead crusted hands. So
Oh yeah.
I got issues. Oh, and then when the mercury gauge spills over because you're doing a mercury test on the gas pipe and you're using your bare hands to scoop up the mercury.
Logan has a clip of you where you're like, you have no respect for the plumbing industry or something like that. It's fucking hilarious.
It is hilarious that all of these people have all of this ammo that they use when I'm not around because apparently they're fucking terrified of me. That makes me laugh. I keep hearing more and more people tell me about all the clips that are played when I'm not around. And it just makes me laugh because A, I have thick enough skin to partake in the fun of it. So it just makes me laugh that they're apparently that big of a group of pussies that are too scared to poke fun at the bear.
I think Logan would play it if you... I don't think he's something he just does behind your back, but that's Snuggles. And the thing with Snuggles is he does have a soundboard with these clips on them, and sometimes Logan will be speaking and Snuggles will like play a random clip of someone. So like he's given too much control to that robot, I swear. But yeah, so like every once in a while we'll like hear a clip of Eric Hecker, but it's not done like maliciously. It's usually
understood.
Quite fitting for the conversation, whatever, because that Snuggles, but there must be keywords or something.
Yeah, in one breath, I appreciate that it's not malicious, but in another breath, I figure people are operating with caution because they're scared. Like, you know, my friends back in the day would like make fun of me to my face about everything, and I wouldn't consider it malicious, but I would also consider them at least bold enough non-chicken shits to do it to my face. You know, so I do feel there's some accuracy. There is some accuracy to the fact that it never seems to happen when I'm around. So where I grew up, that's just called being a fucking pussy.
You've never heard that clip before? I don't know. Maybe he's scared of you. That's
I've
funny.
never heard any of these clips that people talk about of me anywhere.
Yeah, I've never heard one either. I don't know why.
You know, I don't think I've ever heard. Well, yeah, I have. Panda will play your clips and stuff in his spaces, but I don't think I've ever heard like a space. I don't think I've ever heard like a clip of a recording of one of your spaces, though, except for one.
Logan's got like a good clip on everyone. Mine, I was explaining and I was like, you're a racist, you're gay. And now that's my clip. So I'll be talking and Snuggles will be like, you're a racist, you're gay in my voice. I'm like, God damn it, Snuggles. Let me talk.
That's so funny.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, go ahead.
It's going to be slightly random and self-serving, but not. The question is, oh shit. I'm sorry. I'm back. Sorry.
He's getting a message in the back channels. Like, you can't ask that question.
Yeah, they're like, don't
clearly
ask that question.
Yeah.
Right, the NSA is already calling him.
Yep. They're giving him his other question. They're like, never mind that question. Ask this one.
They're like, this fucking Eric guy.
I do find it fun. Space with someone. There's a couple I can think of. And you ask them a question, and then there's like a long pause, and it's like, all right, we're asking you, GPT. God damn it.
Right.
I love how some people can just like avoid answering a question at all.
Can I
go
ask
ahead.
it? Sorry,
Yes,
you guys.
yeah.
I
No, go
swear
ahead.
I'm not trolling. It's just kidding. The question is, and I suspect that Eric's going to say it's BS, but I want to know from everybody who's here listening, what are your thoughts on binaural beats?
Well, for starters, I don't think it's BS. I think there's something to binaural beats and hemi-syncing stuff.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, having lost the left side of my control, I respect the two hemispheres of the brain.
I'm so glad I asked this question. Anyone else?
Yeah, I will say that me, I'm a little bit hesitant, like with some of the binaural beats programs like HemiSync, only because with the Monroe Institute, who created that, the CIA has now a heavy hand in that development and use. So I'm a little wary just because it's CIA.
Like you would want your I'll tell you why I'm asking, because I'm making a Beats app and it's not ready yet.
Yeah.
But I
if
built
I could
it.
interrupt our post, because I made a post about this before, but to have a true binaural, so you need headphones, right? So they're like headphones, and so the sound is different. No sound, which is a setting on your phone, and you have to play one frequency in one ear and then another frequency in another ear, and there has to be only a certain number of hertz between them. If there's more than a certain hertz, then it won't work. But if it's, I think it's less than 20 hertz.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
A third tone, kind of like the color purple, but with sound in your, so that.
So I was like, well, I want to make my own. And so I did, and I have researched it, and I'm glad that you guys are open to the idea, and I'd love to hear more about what people's experiences are with them in particular, because I'm just curious myself. I think there's something to it.
Well, to be honest, I've heard mixed reviews. Me personally, I tried listening to them. I passed out with them going. I didn't really feel a huge effect on it. But I do believe in like being in music and getting yourself in a trance and all that. But I do have friends that have tried it, and I've heard good reviews and I've heard bad reviews too. So I think it depends on the person, right? But for me, I checked it out, but I'm a little ADHD. I didn't follow through with all the steps and all that, but I looked into it and learned about it and kind of, I didn't see immediate effects, and so I abandoned ship.
Yeah, no, I'm psyched to hear about it. That's it. I didn't mean to dominate the conversation. I just like, Eric, for you to say that you think there's something to it, to me, now I don't know. I believe in you, if that's okay, and I do.
I mean,
so,
I'm only going off of the experience that I had as a kid being abused by programs that were wielding such weaponry against my consciousness.
Okay, yeah, well,
Did they make you listen to binaural beats when you were younger, Eric, or was that a part of some type of program?
Yeah, it was part of the Stargate program. It was part of the Monroe Institute stuff, as well as Itzhak Bentov's information from the book Stalking the Wild Pendulum was kind of, I guess you would say, like base reference material that was wielded by the program.
I think I was too stupid for that program but I remember getting like ear tests and some other tests, but like they never like took me anywhere. They were just like, here, you
right, the big gray headphones.
Yeah, but they were like, you can go back now. And I was like, really? I was like hoping to do better or something. I don't know what was going on.
It's similar to the Army intelligence test, like, but for that, like you got to figure out what's being told to you through them as shit's going on around you in the background.
Forget it. At that age, no chance.
Right.
I mean, I can't. My memories of that age are just awash. How intense did people get with that gate program? Like, did they take you away?
I was never taken away. I was always on site.
At your school?
Yes. As I understand, some people were, though.
Yeah, I mean, how intense do you want to? This goes back to what I was saying before. Like, don't ask questions for which you can't handle the answers. How much you really want to know, Mooks, about how much they were torturing children and nobody asked questions about it?
We would talk about Action Park all day. So, I'm afraid, but I'm asking.
It's full-on physical and sexual abuse beyond what any kid should have to go through. What do you mean, come on? Go fuck yourself. Don't ask the question if you can't handle the answer. That's the answer.
Oh, man. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Yeah.
That's what happens when adults don't do anything. All it takes for bad people to win is for good people to do nothing. This has happened. This has happened to our kids and will probably continue to happen to the kids until the adults get engaged and do something about it. Instead of
found out that it's that kind of stuff is happening on all kinds of everywhere levels, and it's just
It reminds me of what the Catholic schools did here in Canada back in the day. Like they were testing different pablums, baby foods, and they wanted to know how it would affect children with malnutrition. So they had to get like a data set of children that were malnutrition before they were able to even start their test. And like the schools did use like these environments to do these tests on. So I'm not blaming all the Catholics. I'm just saying this was an avenue that science used to get data sets of people is the educational systems, not just Catholic, but especially Catholic here in Canada. So
yeah, I think the school that I was in was happy to participate in all kinds of peculiar government programs. One of the things, I mean, that's in particularly different about my school in the real sense was, as a tradesman, this is, some of the stuff that I would say I became critical of in hindsight. I'm well aware of public schools being set up as, what they would call a nuclear fallout shelter because it's public and it's for the community. My Catholic school that I went to had a nuclear fallout shelter below it and tunnels that connected to the old folks' home, which was a separate facility, and over to the church, which was a separate facility. So effectively, there was a tunnel system and fallout shelter beneath all of these structures. So surface value, 3 separate facilities, but underneath all interconnected. And I'm aware that they existed in the interconnectedness because we used to go down there, and it wasn't until I became an adult where I learned, trades and infrastructure and who pays for what and things like that. And I was like, that doesn't really make sense. Like who paid for that structure to be built that way?
Well, it reminds me
of Montauk and the tunnel.
I've been down to Montauk.
It reminds me of Michael and Keena and all the tunnels underneath the daycares and stuff like that, and all the Hollywood people have the tunnels underneath their homes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of the
they have that in Silicon Valley now.
The Gilded Age mansions back in the day that belonged to the Vanderbilts and the Morgans and things like that, where they had compounds with many homes on the property, often had tunnels that interconnected the homes as well. Substantial tunnels.
We don't have that cool shit here in Canada. Maybe it's too cold. Maybe I just don't know about it. Maybe it's in the big cities, but there ain't no tunnel under my house. Tell you that. It's probably bitumen actually. Like the site that the town was built on was actually like one of the most largest bitumen sites. So kind of fucked ourselves there. But here we are.
Well, if you get cold, you could just go down to the basement, dig a hole, and start a fire.
I don't know. I don't think you can light bitumen on fire. I don't think that's how it works.
Do you have basement where you're at?
I do. I have a like cement foundation basement. Yes.
Okay. 8-foot ceilings down there, like full blown staircase, all that.
Yeah, I have like extra high ceilings. What am I? I'm like not even 6 foot, but I don't know, like 8 foot, 9 foot high ceilings in here. I can't touch
nice.
the roof.
Okay.
Yeah, and downstairs is pretty big, but I don't know. Downstairs gets hot quicker than upstairs. That's the thing. Is like when it's -30 outside, it's really hard to like distribute the heat evenly throughout the house because any exposed window is just sucking heat. So
put some saran wrap over them.
I do. We get the stuff, and you get the blow dryer, and
There you go.
and stick it to the window. Yeah.
I like the sound effects. You ring. Uh-oh, I'm out of coffee. Son of a bitch.
I found my coffee from earlier.
There you go.
Tea. It's tea, yeah.
I just down to 20 ounce.
Nice. Debating if I should make more coffee.
I can drink coffee and fall asleep. It's just like, it's a staple. Yep, gotta have some coffee.
There you go.
Me too. I can knock right out after drinking it. Something warm and just pass out.
I used to work like 24 hours a day emergency service in the wintertime doing plumbing calls, and I'd just be chugging coffee all day long, like 20 hours straight of drinking coffee, and I would still grab a coffee to make it for the drive home to fall asleep.
Yeah, winter maintenance and having to deal with water fucking sucks, dude. Like having to clear ice jams in pipes, having to go and like de-ice, like de-ice, de-water areas, like fucking, oh my God. And then like, it's so scary too, because when you expose something, like you are exposing it to the elements. So I don't know, you have to make sure everything stays warm while you're working on it. And then like, I don't know, it's just, that's
nothing like doing water main breaks when it's -20 degrees out and the pit that you're working in is flooding and you're getting soaked. That's always the best. I've definitely turned gray from cold exposure in certain situations. Certain level of frost bite or whatever you want to call it, frost nip.
Yeah, that shit hurts. Like burns, leaves your skin white. Like a light frostbite is actually just turns like it kills the first layer of your skin. Everything turns white. But I don't know. At the same time, you have to protect yourself. So like as long as the job takes, it takes. But there are some situations, like you said, if something busts and things are still flowing, like I'm sorry, you got to get that turned off as soon as possible, and then you can go get warm, type of thing. You know, like
everything in phases. Isolation phase, warm up phase, repair phase, warm up again, test your work, warm up again, go collect.
Yeah, and those hoses, like the remote hose, so like when you see like a poop truck going and they connect that big long tubey hose thing, those are called remote hoses. You use those and you're working in below like freezing temperatures. Anything you suck up through that hose with water, it like becomes ice within that hose. So you could have remote hoses that are still heavy. They're like what, 100 pounds, 80 pounds each. But now you've been working with them all day. And if you don't run hot water through the hose for a couple minutes and melt that ice, the entire fucking hose will just be filled with ice. And like, good luck moving that.
Yeah, it's like a clogging of the arteries. Speaking of remote hoses, we haven't heard from Justice in a while. How's my favorite remote hoe?
Oh my God, you're so mean.
I only hammer Justice because she could take it.
Yeah, I can take it. I'm not even worried about little
Exactly.
Eric. If anybody is the remote hoe up in here, it's Eric.
He is the most remote hoe out of all of us.
Fair enough. Fair
Exactly.
enough. Touche.
Yeah, whatever Eric says, that doesn't even bother me.
Someday Justice and I are going to meet, and she can walk up and smack me right in the face, and we'll both just laugh. She'll be like, "You done,
I would.
you
I'd
done
be
know
like, you know
you
what?
deserve that," and I'd be like, "I
You
know."
you done worked for this slap.
I'd like to see you guys go shot for shot and see who can stand up for the longest, who falls over first. Yeah.
Are you talking about booze or backhands?
No, booze. Don't go hitting each other.
Justice could probably outdrink me.
You fall over, and
I was getting ready to say. I bet Eric could whoop my ass though, for real. But don't
think Justice-
I wouldn't try to fight him.
I could totally appreciate that, and yes, I think I can beat Justice up in a boxing ring, but I do believe she could probably outdrink me. I'm a lightweight. If we were going shot for shot with booze, I would not last long. I would be hammered pretty quickly. Like, I would play the game, but I would probably lose.
I bet you become like a super extrovert when you're drinking.
Oh my God! To say that I get gregarious might be an understatement. Yeah, which is probably also why I'm a bit more reserved now, because yes, I can be a bit too fun-loving, and some people know me to be a loud person normally, but if you put me in a loud environment and then add alcohol, yeah, I can make people's ears bleed because my volume just goes through the roof.
I can make people's eyes bleed because sometimes when I drink, my dancing confidence gets a little too high and I start dancing. But the more I drink, the more I dance not good. So, yeah.
Well, you did better than I did. I was like staggering drunk when we got together, Justice. So you handled yourself better than I. Although I wasn't there to impress anybody. It was good. I was having a good time. But those shoes, dude, you can't drink and wear like 7-inch high heels. So that was my problem. But
I know I couldn't.
Yeah, you definitely can't do that. See, that's the only thing that sucks about being kind of tall is, I never get to wear cute high shoes or anything because I don't want to be taller than everybody else. I already feel like a freak.
How tall are you?
5'8".
That's not too tall.
It's not short though. Guys always want the little cute short ladies, and here I am fucking feel like an Amazon woman.
tall women are beautiful. I say rock those heels anyway. And
yeah, right.
Get yourself a monster man because you'll be like, you need to be as taller than me with high heels on, baby.
Yeah, you could do it.
The most I dated this one guy, and I went out with him a couple times, but super, 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 super alpha type male. He actually like taught special forces guys and stuff like that on this military facility. But he was like, I don't know, maybe 5'7", but he went undercover with like some cells of terrorist groups and stuff like that in his state, and he'd done all this stuff. But he was super short. But he loved the fact that I was tall, and it didn't even faze him whatsoever that I was taller than him.
It's like climbing a tree, right?
There you go. He looked up to you.
Maybe short guys don't have as much ego either, because like most short guys that I meet, I don't know, people say you got short man syndrome, but I think there's the men that are short that got a problem with it, and then there's the men that are short that like don't give a fuck. Those ones are good. All right. And then the same goes for tall. There's tall men that are confident, and then there's tall men that are like, I don't know, some type of way because they're tall. So I think it goes both ways. There's lots of cool short guys. And
it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like looking back, I like, I'm more comfortable, I think, with the guy who's not as tall because they're more down to earth. Like some guys think just because. I just realized I did that, didn't I?
Yep. They're more down to earth.
Yep, you just said that.
But honestly, though, they're just more real. They're not trying to prove anything. Where a guy who's kind of tall, I feel like it makes him a little bit arrogant.
Is it possible that they're just scared of you being bigger than them? So in your presence, they're very humbled.
What do you mean bigger?
Because if
Those
you're
are fighting words. I will whoop your ass for you calling me bigger than somebody. Now, those are fighting words. I will show you how much bigger my big ass is than you.
I guess I should have said taller.
Yes, he's taller.
I'm glad I didn't say more massive.
Never use words like big or rotund.
See, we're learning stuff here today. Women don't like
robust.
Yeah, women don't like to be referred to as more massive than someone else, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, those are words you
All
want
right.
to stay away from when it
Yeah, I
comes
mean,
to.
I obviously meant to say taller, but apparently bigger was quick to be bothersome. Oh, that's funny. A little hit a little trigger there on you, huh, Justice?
We got the big energy over here. All right.
Well, that is true. Now, I mean, I definitely have big D energy.
Is that a don't ask, don't tell thing? Is there something that's secret here?
That's my big lady D energy.
I'm just making sure you confirmed that it was lady, not hidden other.
No.
Got stealthy Justice over here.
Women, we have invisible lady dicks too.
It's Lady Wood. Yes, we have invisible, etheric Lady Wood. I just want to say I gave my DNA results to ChatGPT, and it said that I had Y chromosomes, and I'm a boy. So, like, I don't even know how that happens.
What happens when you're an alpha, but you're still feminine?
Yeah, I don't know how that happens either. I would have been.
It was like, there's lots of Y chromosomes, which means whoever took this test was a male. And I was like, excuse me, sir. I am a female. And then it was like, no, there's so much Y chromosomes. So I'm like looking in my pants. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm a woman.
Did you take the test within 24 hours of a date?
What? It's a saliva sample, Eric.
I will stand by my previous statement.
Like,
that is a good question.
I'm just saying.
So you're saying I have to go 24 hours?
Maybe brush your teeth before the next one.
Well, look, go ahead, Sarah Beth. Tell them about the vagina thing and the sperm.
Oh God. All I was saying was just how women, we can carry the DNA of our partners in our uterus, and in fact, it's actually been scientifically studied and proven that the DNA of our partners can also be found in our brains afterwards. So the word sex literally stands for sacred energy exchange, in my personal opinion, and
oh, interesting.
I think it is very, very interesting. You literally like take on attributes or aspects of your partners. So
I think that's what Rihanna meant when she wrote that song "Love on the Brain."
You know what? Maybe.
Yeah, I wonder if that DNA can cause other DNA expression in you.
Like, say you hump someone and then that causes some type of like, not mutation, but yeah, like something to be expressed. Well, if they hump you good, you will express a baby, I'll tell you that.
Right, you learned about that one.
Yeah, we did that one time.
One time.
Were you just singing there, Eric?
2 times. What the hell is that song?
Fuji's.
Thank you. I couldn't place it.
Killing me softly with his song.
What? Did someone just step on a cat? What the hell was that? What was that?
I absolutely know 100% that I cannot sing. Because you know how I know? Because when I was a kid, I had those tape recorders. And I was, when I first got it, I was singing along with the music. And I played that shit back. And I never sang publicly again. And that was like 20 years ago.
Did you ever go to karaoke night, Justice, and then they gave you free passes to go to a different place to drink? They're like, we done got you a cab, and the first 2 drinks are on us, ma'am, but you need to go.
When I worked for the city, like my office used to be in like a fire station. So after work or sometimes during the shift, the fire guys would get kind of bored. So we would play, I'm going to age myself, Guitar
Strip
Hero.
poker.
And they would always say, don't give her a singing part. Do not let her sing.
Nice.
Yeah, when I would go and party in Asia, we'd always do, they call it videoke.
Oh.
But, I was fine with it. I can't sing for the life of me, but I can rap. So I was like Vanilla Ice all the time. And
there you go.
And that was good.
Rollin' in my station wagon. Hood popped off and the muffler dragging. Do the brakes work? I don't know. We just hit the gas and off we go.
That is so not how it goes.
Yeah. But no, I was in a Christian choir. My auntie took me because she played bagpipes, whatever, and she found this choir, and so I had to apply, like, what's the word? Do a
audition.
I had to, an audition, and so they played the piano, and I had to like match tone. So like I'm really good at matching tone. If I hear something, I can do it. But like if there's nothing for me to go off of, I sound like a yodeler. Like I can't hold a tone on my own. Like I don't know. I can't hear myself good enough to be able to tell if I'm like in tune or not. But if other people are singing, I can match really well. So there's my superpower.
There you go. You know how to fit in.
So you have good intonation, huh?
Whoa.
That's how you match pitch. Yeah. I used to play the cello. I started in 4th grade and I stuck with it all the way through till graduation from high school. My mom actually used to work with the Guam Symphony when we lived on the island. And so then, of course, too, I was always in choir and singing. And I love reading sheet music.
I learned how to read sheet music when I played tenor drum in the pipe band. So that's the one where you like fling the around. So it's like not the snare and it's not the bass, but it's the one in between where like boom boom and you spin them and boom boom. And so like that's how I learned how to play like sheet music, was just how many hits were in between the bars, and then there's 4 bars per line. So like that was nice, but I don't understand like piano and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I played trumpet in marching band, so I learned I can read and write music.
I think I played trumpet too. Like, obviously, I had to play the loudest, most annoying instrument ever for my parents.
Right, so FACE and Every Good Boy Does Fine. Did you hear those?
Yep.
I think trumpet's a good one to start with as far as like reading music, because I found it pretty easy. Now I don't know, like something like the flute or the fucking the lot of keys. It seems like it would be kind of difficult.
I feel like when you laugh like that, Justice, about regarding the picking the loud instrument to annoy your parents, makes us believe that your sister's assumptions about you are rather accurate.
Well, the thing is, like, I didn't try to be annoying intentionally. It's just now that I look back on it, I'm like, God, that trumpet must have been obnoxious. Because if my kid wanted to play the trumpet, I would be super annoyed, right? Like, why didn't I pick the flute? It was so much easier to carry, or the clarinet. They're so quieter, so much more quiet. So it's just funny now when I look back.
Now I'm picturing you like wanting a trombone, though.
I'd say drums is the easiest to learn because there's not even any of the. It's just a hit. It's just boom. It's just hit the drum at this point in the music. So I found it pretty easy to learn, but I feel like there's definitely more. I don't know when it comes to like.
It was my favorite part of marching band. It'd be like cadence, and then boom, the snares start. I love that.
Bagpipes make me cry, dude. I don't know. I was in cadets too many years, and we did the like November 11th, going down to the cadet hall, and we watch all the videos, and then we'd march to the cenotaph, and then we'd do the whole, and then they'd shoot off the guns, and the babies would cry, but it's okay because they're even able to cry because these men died, and it's just very emotional whenever I hear bagpipes.
Yeah, it's the programming from all the funerals you've been to.
Yeah, I actually, listening to at my brother's funeral, they played the taps and the bagpipes and stuff like that. It hits a lot different than I think other instruments.
Yeah, it was great being able to play taps. I could play taps whenever, and I lived in a military town. Whenever we knew somebody passed away, I'd play.
There I go, bringing down the conversation again.
Good one, Justice. I blame Justice. Quick, talk about food. What are you baking for dinner?
I don't know. Maybe burgers and fries tonight.
Because we were talking about White Castle, right?
Actually, I had put that already on my menu for today. I have a big dry erase board that I write out what I'm going to cook for the month, so that when I go grocery shopping, my list is organized. Yep.
Nice. That's very efficient. So you're not going to be running to the store before dinner preparations tonight?
Nah, I usually try to go just once a week or twice a week.
Swamp buggy takes a lot of fuel.
My grocery getter.
There you go. Your fan boat ripping across the swamps of North Kakalaki. I was just going to say, if you're doing burgers, you should try a bacon smoked Gouda cheeseburger.
That sounds good.
That's even better. It's even better.
That's what she did there. That does sound good.
Those are the best burgers,
right? That was a cheesy joke. I'm sorry.
Oh, should cut it out. That's good stuff, though.
I don't know. I'm thinking about a Carolina burger tonight with the coleslaw and the chili and the onions and cheese.
Oh, Lana missed this one. She said she likes anything with chili. I've never heard of a Carolina burger like that. So
what?
I've never heard of this. So it was onions, chili, cheese. What else was on there?
Coleslaw, chili, mustard. Mm-hmm.
I don't like mustard on burgers. I think that's weird.
You haven't had a Carolina burger, that's why.
Fair enough. Now it even sounds weird to mix coleslaw with mustard and chili. This burger sounds peculiar to me.
Yeah, I won't even eat coleslaw on a sandwich.
I like coleslaw, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I'm kind of like a coleslaw snob. There's a lot of bad coleslaw out there.
You have to have it together to really appreciate the blends of flavors together. It's really delicious. I mean, I don't put onions on mine like that, but the Carolina style for hot dogs or burgers, like Carolina, you know, trademark or whatever, is like chili, coleslaw, mustard, and onions.
Am I safe in assuming that you can make your own coleslaw, Justice?
Well, they have the little packs you can get at the grocery store, so yeah.
Oh, bless your heart and your little kitchen with your packaged coleslaws.
But I do also have a coleslaw recipe that's just like KFC's too.
Oh, theirs is terrible.
I used to make coleslaw when I worked in a fish and chip place. We'd make it from scratch. We'd make like the slaw sauce, and then we'd mix the coleslaw into it. Oh, fuck, so good. We use what do you use? Dill. So you like dill paste, I think, and then you do like pickle juice. I don't remember everything, but
I remember when I was a little kid, I worked at a paint store, and we'd send a guy out to the deli to get lunch, and this one really good deli had what they just simply called the turkey special, and it was hot turkey, bacon, melted Swiss, lettuce, tomato, pickles, coleslaw, and Russian dressing on a roll or a hero. Oh, that sucker was good.
Russian? You mean like the red salad dressing?
That's French. Russian's more like it's like Thousand Island.
Oh, okay, yeah. I could see that. Like
Yeah,
that
exactly.
sounds a lot better than the red kind. I like Thousand Island on burgers and stuff like that. Like, although I don't eat McDonald's, but I do like that Big Mac style burger.
Mac sauce.
at Wendy's they have the Baconator, which is like what's 3 slices of bacon and a patty, and then 3 slices of bacon and then a patty. Oh my god!
Look, I mean, you guys, I'm about to ruin you guys' appetite. I don't know why, but it just really hit me today, like how morbid the people are who created McDonald's, you know, with the red shoe and, you know, the whole story of this guy who's the mascot, who's a clown and, you know, serving billions every day. I really feel like there's a dark joke on humanity with that organization.
When they got caught running of worms in the meat.
And you're loving it too, by the way.
Which organization was mentioned? Could you repeat that, please? I didn't quite follow.
She's casting aspersions against the McDonald's Corporation, Wolf, as not being very saintly, and I don't know what her issue is with big McDonald's Corporation, and I don't know how she could possibly say that they're up to no good.
Yeah, earthworm, pink slime.
Oh, I didn't know it was earthworms. Oh my god! I knew it was a pink slime, but I never knew it was earthworm. That is so even more disgusting.
Okay.
I bet the first McDonald's was actually probably lit as fuck and tasty and good for you. Like the first ever one, probably a big ass tomato and a bunch of lettuce on there. And then it just got cheaper and cheaper and franchised. And now here we are. And it's about money. He's probably turning over in his grave.
Ocean, have you ever enjoyed eating Coffee Crisp or Crispy Crunch as chocolate bars here in Canada?
Oh, don't ruin Coffee Crisp for me now.
Or Oreo cookies? I don't know. I'm not fishing for your age, but you may find in 10 or 15 more years that none of that tastes the same, and it's not because of your taste buds aging out. It's because they're not the same. They're literally not the same.
Well, I know Kraft Dinner has changed, and Mr. Noodles aren't even what they used to be. I love me some good, cheap, 69-cent Mr. Noodle pack. You just add hot water to. I love that. But they do change. Kraft Dinner isn't nearly as tasty as it used to be. Like, you definitely have to make sure you're adding milk and butter to that, or it doesn't even taste like cheese.
I used to thoroughly enjoy Coffee Crisp, but it tastes nothing like it did. It's got a very chemical, artificial flavor to it. It's like astronaut food if it was outsourced to the lowest bidder.
What is Coffee Crisp for the Americans in the room?
It's a chocolate bar that is kind of like a tiramisu or coffee style, very lightly flavored, sweet, crunchy. It's got wafer chocolate, some coffee flavored nougat like paste inside.
10-4.
It's a nice bar. It's light. Adults tend to like it more than children do because of its slightly lighter sweet taste. But it's just not the same. A Mr. Big bar. Do you know that bar? That's another Canadian one.
I feel like I heard of that one, but never had it either.
How about, okay, so for the Americans, there's a peanut butter crisp bar called Whatchamacallit.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I used to like those. In Canada, they were marketed as Special Crisp with Jamie Farr from MASH as a camel riding, dude. Even that doesn't taste the same. Nothing tastes the same. The chocolate is much lower.
I totally follow that.
Right?
I grew up on Long Island where we had Entenmann's baked goods. It was a Long Island staple. The chocolate coated donuts back in the day were one of my absolute favorite things in the world to eat when I was stoned. Some Entenmann's donuts and some milk. Oh my God.
Their chocolate chip cookies are to die for. We had them briefly in Canada.
Entenmann's, they were.
They're a little salty.
Yeah, the little small ones. They were those. But I would say all the Entenmann's recipes changed and went downhill.
Yeah, Entenmann's cookies were like crack when I could find them. They're so good.
Yeah, those little mini chocolate chip ones.
Yep.
You ever tried Nanaimo bars?
I know what they are. Yeah, I personally don't like them much, but I see why people do.
It's like a fudge with some type of white fudge with chocolate on top. It's pretty much like a Nanaimo bar type of thing.
Yeah, I definitely back in my early stoner years could crush a lot of junk food that I wouldn't go near now.
We got ketchup chips too. I love me some good ketchup chips, but I gotta go because I killed the battery in my truck again. I left like the USB thing plugged in, and so the light was on. My brand new battery is dead, so that's not promising.
Hey, at least it should charge up quickly.
Well, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna plug it in for a bit, but I gotta take care of some life stuff. But I'll be back, and thanks for hanging out this morning.
You got it, Ocean. Thanks for joining, and enjoy life. Fingers crossed.
Luck. Hopefully, I can get this Blue Beast started. So
you got it.
Started to get that alternator going, drive around a little bit.
Alternator's not squeaky. I think I don't know if I drain the new battery. Hopefully I'm not pooched. Yeah, pray for me. I love you guys.
I did a bit of a scrape on binaural beats, Eric, and I wouldn't go near it if you paid me. I wouldn't subject myself to that.
Oh, understood. Not because it's not effective, though. The question, as asked earlier, was like, is there something to it? And my answer was just simply, yup.
It is essentially like putting a coat of primer over your mind so someone else can paint onto it.
Yeah, it's an entrainment system. I think of it like when I think of the human mind oftentimes like computers, similarly. So
yeah,
like when you want to reprogram something, one of the things you do right before you reprogram it is you reformat it. So I think of the binaural beats as like the reformatting before the reprogramming.
That's a much better characterization than my sloppy primer one. I'm reading here. It says that where is it? Theta beats resulted in heightened suggestibility and a noticeable shift in perception. Subjects reported reduced sense of agency. In other words, reformatting, right? MK Ultra style reformatting. Hard pass.
Yep.
Luckily, I don't think it would work at all on me because, my left brain, the stroke took out, my neurological control of my left side. So, and now I feel good. Like my vision is fine, except for my brain gives less of a shit on stuff I see to my left because of it.
So you're all right? Ah, ah.
I'm literally all right. You got the slogan I use. I'm all right. So my right side and my middle is what I do. What I live with my challenges.
Par, when your stroke first was on set and then you slowly began recovering from it, did you experience any verbal loss in dexterity? It's called
Nope.
aphasia. No? Okay.
No, I never did.
All right.
Because I had a special speech therapist working with me to make sure I had nothing. So I verified that.
I don't mean in terms of mouth and tongue and jaw and throat movement, but neurologically, aphasia is I think of it as when you have like a movie star's name or the name of something, you know it, but you just can't find it and make it come out. That's a kind of aphasia.
It did not affect my partially eidetic memory whatsoever. So I thank God for that.
Eidetic memory. That sounds like a lucky thing to have, but has it ever been a curse?
Not necessarily that, I mean, there would be things I wouldn't rather not remember, and then have to answer to, but I do.
For folks who don't have an eidetic memory or who really don't know too much what it is, how might you characterize its advantages or its benefits?
For working, I worked in the computer science field, so it was, I was always the one who knew the answer because I remembered it. No one else would remember, and I would be the one who remembered.
Is it image based? Is it feeling based, or is it some other presentation?
Yeah, with mine, it's not image based at all. It's not any kind of synesthesia whatsoever. It's just solid, all one thing.
That sounds intriguing. It's hard for me to imagine.
I'm lucky the type isn't a synesthesia-based kind.
Synesthesia is where you smell colors and taste sounds and stuff like that, yes?
Yes, correct. And it's not like that. It's just all solid one thing. I just simply remember. My long-term access memory is good.
I was tasting colors at a Dead show one time.
Par, I'm curious if there has been, a weighting of scales. You've received many benefits from it, but have you noticed over your life? You're at least 50 or 60 years old. I'm guessing. I don't want to know your age, but you're an experienced.
It's okay. I just turned double nickel on the 5th.
Okay. I'm curious if you've noticed any deficits or detriments from having an eidetic memory compared to what your baseline friends or family or coworkers experience. Were you ever able to identify anything like that?
No. I mean, there are things that, just if I'm on wonders and I remember something that I really didn't want to, that can happen. But it's not perfect recall. I mean, it works almost all the time, but there are plenty of times it does not.
Nobody's perfect, Par.
Yeah, I'm just blessed with it. It's been the one weapon I've had my whole life. And it's so good, been so good for me. Like I can still tell you what happened in the 80s. I've had to do it.
I think my stomach is getting the best of me, folks. We've spoken too much about White Castle today, apparently.
I literally just heard it growl.
it was damn near close. But actually, when I get hungry, I start getting the hiccups. It's something in my bloodline. Like all the dudes in my family, we get hungry, we start getting the hiccups, which is not really good for being on air. I'm gonna sound like a drunk, but I swear I'm just hungry. But yeah, as always, a wonderful chat. Thanks for joining in, Justice. You don't normally show up as an early bird like this, so nice to have you around.
Nice to be around all you awesome folks. I love you guys.
Say it correctly, Justice. Say awesome.
Say what?
Like you're from New York. You got to say awesome.
Awesome.
There you go. It's not awesome. You don't stand on top of a mountain and look out the view and go, look, I'm in awe. You say I'm in awe. So it's awesome.
You hear my dog back there being all crazy when I'm trying to talk.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys.
You got it. Everybody have an excellent day.
Yeah, thanks, Justice. Thank you for the space as always, Eric.
Thanks, Par. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side, and be well. Have a wonderful afternoon.